Philomena Cach, the UK's queen of deadpan satire. She's made you laugh and cringe. And now there's a podcast all about this TV icon. Cach, a very unofficial podcast. That's CUNKD on all podcast platforms. Cach covers the brilliantly awkward world of Philomena Cach, hosted by a razor-sharp Brit and a witty American who unpack every ridiculous moment with clever commentary and cultural banter. If you love Philomena Cach satire, absurdity, and laughing till it hurts, Cach is for you. So be sure to check out Cach on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Cach, start listening right now.
This is Bad Movies We Love, part of the Shice Podcast Network.
If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
Hello, Bad Movie Lovers. Welcome back to Bad Movies We Love. I am your host, Nick Scheist.
The master of this stupid stuff!
Today, we are not just celebrating the end of Juneffer Lopez month here on Bad Movies We Love, which you listeners have made the second most listened to month ever on the show. And with a little luck, I know I got this out kind of late in the day, but there is still a chance that you can make this the most listened to month of the show ever. But we're not just celebrating that. It is also the 100th Bad Movie We Love. And whether you have been here since the very beginning, when we started off with Roadhouse, or if you're tuning in for the very first time to listen to this episode, either way, I am happy to have you here all the same. I don't want to get too bogged down in the housekeeping today because it's a celebration, but if you are one of the people who are listening to the show for the first time, I think it's worth noting that there is a listener survey in the show notes that you can click. It's completely anonymous. You can tell me what you think of the show. The show notes also has the phone number for the show, which is 1-805-285-3885, and it also has my email, badmovieswelove@theshice.com. So if you have something that you want to tell me, or maybe there's a movie you want me to cover, or maybe you want to be a guest on the show at some point in the future, all those options are great ways to get in touch with me. Plus, the show notes has details on how to sign up for the members-only tier here at Bad Movies We Love. $5 a month, you get access to 3 separate bonus series. I'm working on a new one. I still need to build out the members-only section, but it also gets you automatic entry into all the giveaways I do on the show, and I just did a sticker giveaway and a movie giveaway. Some people got Blu-rays, some people got DVD entire collections, and that's totally worth $5. But without further ado, Juneffer Lopez is not going to bring itself to an end, and I was joined by my friends Scott Cole and Amber Nicole to talk about Luis Llosa's Snake Attack Jaws knockoff movie from 1997. It's the one, it's the only Anaconda.
There's no better way to start your morning than with Anaconda.
I like that it's over the top. I like that that snake is ridiculous.
No, get my body double in here, please.
If you want to jump into movies, you have to take the Anaconda movie.
Jordan Peele definitely watched Anaconda. I'll put money on that.
Fuck your monkey.
It's monkey blood.
I'm not really a fan. Not that I'm not a fan, but I don't listen to her music, really.
It's been a long time since I had a woman.
Keep your wiener closed in the Amazon.
Saran. Paul Saran. Where are you from, Mr. Saran? Paraguay. Really? I started out studying for the priesthood, but then I needed to see the real world. So I ended up in the jungle. I seem to fit.
Tell me, what does a failed priest do in the jungle?
Fail? Who says I failed? I didn't fail.
I'm sure you didn't.
Well, what is your calling now?
Snakes.
Snakes.
I catch them.
Welcome to Bad Movies We Love. I'm joined by Scott Cole and Amber Nicole. Purely coincidental.
The Coles.
Coles
The
are
Coles.
here. I've got another friend who is a Bills fan online. And their handle I think is Cole versus Cole. So yeah, so there's lots of Coles. But I'm happy to have you both here to talk about this movie. Yeah, it's a 97 movie, so obviously has a place in my heart just for the year that it was made in, but for many, many other reasons. I don't know if either of you particularly want to take a stab at doing the introduction for the movie, as I've now outsourced this to my guests rather than doing it myself.
You mean like a description?
Just tell us the movie that we're talking about.
You want to do it, Amber?
Okay. Talking about Anaconda, 97 film. I don't remember who directed it. Starring,
Llosa.
thank you. Starring Juneffer Lopez, Ice Cube, and John Voight. Also, we have Jonathan Hyde and Eric Stoltz are in there. And it's a team of documentarians that go to the Brazilian jungle to find this elusive Shirashama tribe and do a documentary about them. But instead, they meet a mysterious man with a terrible accent played by John Boyd, who instead takes them on this voyage to hunt for anacondas.
He says he's from Paraguay, right? Did I
Yes.
get that right?
Okay.
Yeah.
We need you to have a vaguely unidentifiable European-esque accent here, and just smile, but just upside down.
Right.
Sneer the entire time as if its
Squint.
face is made of it.
Yeah, squint as much as you can.
We need you to be doing Elvis with one part of your mouth too for a lot of it. Yeah.
We will definitely talk about John Voight some more throughout the course of this discussion.
Okay.
I always felt like this was primarily a Juneffer Lopez movie, which is the reason why we're talking about it here during Juneffer Lopez on Bad Movies We Love. However, I saw that top billing was John Voight, and in hindsight, I'm not surprised, but he's not the main character. And I felt like watching it this time, it felt maybe less of a Juneffer Lopez movie to me, not because it's not her movie or she's not the star, she's not the final girl, but the rest of the cast is bolstered by a lot of talent around here. I mean, you mentioned several names already. Owen Wilson's in this movie. Danny Trejo's in this movie.
Yes.
And for the most part, a lot of the cast is still alive until the last 25-30 minutes. So it really is like an ensemble kind of movie up until everybody has to die in order to sort of get us to the finish lines. So I don't know about you two, but do you sort of view this as a Juneffer Lopez vehicle, or is this like an Ice Cube movie to you?
I think of it as a Juneffer Lopez movie, and I thought she was the first billed after the title, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'm just looking at it here on the IMDb list thing, and it's John Voight.
I think when the movie starts, they do like Juneffer Lopez, and that's why I think I always associate more with her. Also, at that time, she wasn't the musician J-Lo that we know. She wasn't even J-Lo. She was
correct.
She'd done like Money Train and Jack. She wasn't in she was just starting to be in a lot more movies. Well, Selena was this same year, so that kind of blew her up. So, I guess I think of it like a Juneffer Lopez movie, but I guess that's like a secondary category below over the top goofy animals that'll try to kill you.
That's fair. It is a creature feature. It's not.
Right.
It's not a star-making vehicle in the way that some others are. And we just released our episode on The Wedding Planner, and that's really the movie that catapulted her to the next level, because that movie was number one the week that it came out, and her second album was number one that same week the movie came out, and now she's the biggest pop star on the planet almost at that point. So this is still in the phase of like, maybe she can't quite carry the movie by herself. The role had not been designed for her, and she is surrounded with a lot of other people that help make this movie, I think, the enjoyable kind of journey that it is.
Yeah. I saw, like, I remember too, when she first started with the music thing, like, I remember people were kind of laughing at it or making fun of her. Like she's a new actress. She wants to try to be a musician too, blah, blah, blah. But then when that first album came out, I remember very specifically that summer, it was like summer of 1999. And that If You Had My Love video was on all the time, nonstop. Like, you could tell immediately that she was going to be a huge hit because that song was so big and like it was everywhere. So and she was like already good at it. Like, you know, actors would be better in music videos, I suppose, than people who don't have any experience with it. But she was just so believable as a pop star.
Yeah.
And in this movie, she's kind of not even doing that thing. Like, it's, people forget that she's actually a good actress, and she's been really good in a lot of movies. And this is what she's doing in this movie. I know it's not like she's not reaching super far, but it's very appropriate for this kind of movie. And she's really, I think she's like kind of believable in it, even though she says crazy things. That's the script. That's not her.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely view this more as a Jennifer Lopez movie. But I will say, similar to you, Nick, just rewatching it. I mean, last time I saw it wasn't that long ago, but rewatching it, and I went on IMDb also, so I saw that Jon Voight was listed, and I was like, yeah, he's in this a lot. Like, he is up there. It would be, I would say it was like her and then him, you know. But yeah, I definitely think of it as a Jennifer Lopez movie.
Yeah.
Well, since you brought it up, Scott, I do want to ask you, do you look at her acting career or her music career as being maybe like the defining characteristic? Do you like her better as a musician or as an actress? And then I'll extend that same question to you, Amber.
Well, I'll put it this way. I think that the pop stardom was what really blew her up, like made her well known. I mean, she was known before that, but it was kind of just like she would have almost like supporting parts in movies sometimes, like U-Turn or Blood and Wine. Like, she was kind of in them, and you're like, wow, she's good. But I feel like, I'm not really a fan. Like, not that I'm not a fan, but I don't listen to her music really. But I do think she's an underrated actress, even though I feel like she hasn't been in a lot of stuff lately that Hustlers. She was great in Hustlers. She's a good actress. And, but when I think of her now, it's been skewed by the pop. I think of a pop star. I don't really think about the acting career first until I like start to think about the 90s, which is where I'm usually trying to think about always. So
you and me both.
Yeah.
I definitely associate her with her movies more. I told you, Nick, the other day about how I love The Wedding Planner. That was my favorite movie for so long. I really, really love that movie. So I am more used to her acting, but I do listen to her music. I do like a lot of her music, and I feel like my relationship to her work is different than, it's different. Well, everybody's is different from other people, but in like Latin America, she's got that market because she does make music in Spanish, even though she doesn't speak it that well. She does make music in Spanish. So when I talk to people who are Spanish speakers, that's what they seem to know her for more, is her music. So that's always interesting to me. You don't have, like, for me, I'm like, J-Lo movies, and for them it's like J-Lo's music. So it's different.
Yeah,
that's fair. I mean, I grew up sort of seeing her on TV as part of the Fly Girls for In Living Color. And so like I knew she was around, then like I knew when her career was starting. And in my head, I had always thought she had done music before she started acting, because I was like, she's a dancer. So I just thought that was sort of like naturally the progression, sort of like she would sort of become like Paula Abdul. But in reality, it kind of went the other way. And then once she had the success with the album, like you said, Scott, at that point, like now you just plug her into a movie. She has the automatic like pop star audience. So she becomes a lot more marketable as that leading lady. And yes, she does get pigeonholed into a lot of similar sort of rom-coms for like about a decade. So she doesn't show a ton of variety, but she does do some very interesting projects in there as well. And I feel like at least we've covered the ones that are the most interesting to me outside of Hustlers, but Hustlers I don't think is a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. Yeah, it'd be
so
tough.
I couldn't really like justify it being on the show for that reason. But speaking of bad movies, we're going to go to the tail of the tape here. Like that segue. That one worked. We got an IMDb score of 4.9.
Oh.
Metascore of 37. A letterbox of 2.4. Rotten Tomatoes critic score of 41. And surprisingly, maybe most surprisingly, is the audience score of 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. And that gives us a Bad Movies We Love total score of 39.8 out of 100. So really much more poorly reviewed than I actually thought or was like willing to believe in my heart, because the movie's still like just more fun than I feel like a 4 out of 10 type of movie. Granted, I feel like looking at it, I can see all the areas where like it has issues, but like there's a giant snake and a great cast, and I love the score. So I feel like personally conflicted, because I definitely don't think it's that bad. I'd say like 4.9 is low on IMDb, but Letterboxd has it like a 48 out of 100-ish, so not really that far off.
I'm trying to think of the way I want to say this. Okay, so before I watched it again, I'd seen it a couple times as a kid. I remember like I was thinking in my head, getting myself into the mindset of, okay, it's this kind of movie. Don't just try to go with the flow, have fun, don't overthink it, blah, blah, blah. There's going to be like bad writing and stuff. I will tell you this. I watched the new Jurassic World movie last night. This movie does a better job of writing characters and developing characters than that movie. It's almost like it was so much better than I imagined, because I remember they used to have interesting characters in movies. Like the Jonathan Hyde character in this movie, he's my favorite. I love him. Like they don't do even the level of this, which was considered schlock back then. Now it's like an AI wrote this shit. So yeah, like the movies now. So it was, I don't think it's great, but I think it's fine, like pretty fun.
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised by the Letterboxd score, though. I would think more people would have been in the right spirit on Letterboxd to rate it, but 2.4 is low.
Yeah. I don't really give out star ratings anymore, but I make exceptions sometimes for movies that I feel are like underrated, just so I can nudge their curve up slightly. So I mean, like if I give it a 5 over the course of everyone that's viewed, it might knock it up like a 1/10 of a point.
Yeah.
We'll start the campaign. If you're listening to this show and you love Anaconda, go on your Letterboxd accounts and bump those numbers up. Let's get it over a 2.5 at least.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's wild to me.
Amber, you're a lot younger than we are, I think.
31.
Okay, so yes. So, I mean, like this was a movie that, because it was 1997, it was coming at the time where I was like becoming self-aware of my own movie making decisions. And so I already liked Godzilla stuff growing up. I kind of already liked dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. So when I see like a movie about a big snake, obviously I like Jaws. So all of these things sort of lean into the reasons why I'm interested in this. I like Ice Cube. I like Juneffer Lopez at that time. So I'm like, okay, this is like a movie that's made for me. But for you, you're coming to this a little bit later. So when was like the first time you saw it, and how old were you?
I don't know. I had to have it. I had to have been before I was 7, because 7 is when I got injured. Can you hear that siren?
A little bit. It's okay.
Oh, no, sorry.
It's not bad.
It's fine. I mean, as long as they're not coming to knock on the front door.
Yeah.
No, they're not. I don't know.
They'll be going away. Yeah.
Should I wait?
No, it's fine.
You're good. You can't hear it it's not that much.
Okay. Yeah, it had to be before I was 7. I remember movies I watched when I was like 4. So, yeah, for Jennifer Lopez specifically, I watched Selena a lot. That was a big movie in my family. Like I had the doll and everything. So I definitely had to have seen this after that. Yeah, I was probably like 5 or 6, and yeah, loved it. I don't know who let me watch it, but but yeah, I was really young when I watched it, and it was I immediately liked it.
I mean, aside from like the snake eating people, it's kind of tame. It's PG-13. Like it's not sexually explicit. It's not particularly gory, you know. So like, yeah, it is. It has some animatronics that will be scary. But aside from that, yeah, I think it feels sort of like an intense theme park ride in the sense that it's meant to elicit some fear response, but it's not meant to make you like mortally afraid in any way.
Yeah. I think it's okay for kids of a certain age to watch. I just know I was really young when I watched it.
Yeah, 5, 7, whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like safer horror, like for younger kids.
Yeah.
I saw it in the theater. I remember this pretty clearly. Me and my dad would go to the movies a lot when I was younger. We still do sometimes, but he really liked movies, and we would go a lot. And we would just kind of see everything that was PG-13 or below because I couldn't see R. So anytime a movie came out, we would just take a chance on it if it was PG-13 or under. But yeah, I remember for some reason this movie, I specifically remember the theater we went to and like where we sat. I remember, so, and that theater is gone now, but it was, I don't know why it stuck in my memory. I mean, I know the main reason why I wanted to see it, which we might get into later. I don't want to, is a certain couple of guys' reaction to it on the television. I don't want to step on your any toes or your point or anything.
No, I mean, we may or may not get there. I haven't looked to see whose reviews are available. I try to save it so that I have fresh eyes on it. And if Raj is on there, of course, I will give him the benefit of the doubt and we will read that. But I mean, you're obviously a big Siskel and Ebert guy. I mean, you're a Siskel and Ebert like historian or a preservationist. So was it their show that made you want to watch it?
They were very generous that summer for some reason. They were really in the mood for summer movies. They gave Speed 2 thumbs up, which is kind of crazy. I think this is a better movie than that for sure. And they gave this 2 thumbs up, and they were like the only, I think, big critics that were saying like, it's fun. Go see it. It's just, it's a fun movie. They were very laid back in their approach to it, which I was, but I was surprised to see them give it 2 thumbs up based on like the previews I'd seen. So I was like, oh, this must mean it's like really good. We have to go see it. So,
I mean, it is refreshing to know that it's not just me having like a weird affinity for 1997. It's like there was something about the summer of 97 that even Siskel and Ebert were down with. So I'm happy to hear that. This movie, however, has still managed to like probably lose reputation since then. And it made the Razzies, like the Golden Razzie list of the 100 most enjoyable bad movies ever in their like official like published guide. But part of the reason that I bring that up is because this isn't just the end of the Juneffer Lopez celebration. We've done the 100th unofficial episode here. We've done the 100th official episode here. This is the 100th movie that we've ever talked about on the show. So when I saw that it made the top 100 most enjoyable, I said, you know what? This is a good moment to like pause and reflect and appreciate that I get to talk about movies like Anaconda for fun. And this gets to be my homework, or in this case, like cramming at like 7 o'clock in the morning, throw on Anaconda. Why not? So thank you both for being here for that. You've both been here before as well. So thank you for coming back and being repeat guests on the show.
Thank you for having us.
That's fun. There's no better way to start your morning than with Anaconda.
Yeah.
Cup of coffee and Anaconda.
Yeah. Luis Llosa's Anaconda.
It's the shot in the arm I needed. I don't feel tired at all. But we were out at a local film festival, Dances with Films, here in LA. A friend was having a red carpet premiere, so I was like, I'll go and support you. Typically 9 o'clock at night is kind of a late start time for me these days. And then they didn't start on time because it's LA. So it's like midnight around the time we're getting out of there. And I had seen him before the movie and congratulated him. And I was like, oh, it's bedtime. Like, okay. Afterwards, we stayed for the Q&A and then it's like, we got to get home. But that's why I didn't get to finish it last night. But we're here now. And I'm going to take a moment to set the table, talk a little bit about the production of Anaconda. Back in 1997, Anaconda slithered into theaters and struck box office gold, opening at number 1 with $16.6 million, where it held on to the top spot for a second week, eventually grossing over $136 million worldwide. Critics, however, were not so kind, as you've heard a little bit. Generally unfavorable reviews, but audiences were a bit more generous, with a cinema score of a B-. And while it racked up Razzie nominations for Worst Picture, Worst Actor, and even Worst Screen Couple, yes, between Jon Voight and the animatronic snake, it has since found a new life as a cult classic. Today, Anaconda is celebrated as one of the best so bad it's good films, even earning a spot in the official Razzie Movie Guide. Love it or laugh at it, Anaconda definitely made a lasting impression. The broadcast of the movie during primetime viewing on South African television, ETV, has become a national running gag, with the station airing the movie several times a year ever since the mid-2000s. I know that I kind of maybe threw it last minute. Scott, I don't know if you were here I don't know if the last time you were here we were doing the haikus yet, because you came for the Christmas episode, but I don't remember the exact details of that aside from giving you the Criterion gift card for $100.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was very exciting. The big wheel. Yeah, that was a fun spin. I did not expect to win, and that was kind of cool. So the last time I came, I didn't know about haikus, but you were doing them, and Vanya had one. Gotcha. So I came prepared this time, but I didn't know about it then. But yeah, it's a newer edition, right? Because I don't think you did it the time before that.
No, I started doing it maybe a year ago.
Yeah,
it was like the summer before you came on for the Christmas episode, because you had come and done Blank Man, I think, a little bit earlier in the year, and we weren't doing it at that point. And then sometimes I forgot, so it just wasn't part of the show. And sometimes I just forget to tell people, like I did this time. I was like, well, I hope you can write one in an hour, because I have not reminded you to this point. But since you haven't done it on the show, are you okay with going first, or do you want me to go first?
No, I can go first. I keep recounting to make sure I have the right.
Yeah.
It's 575.
575.
Yes. Okay. This is actually kind of about a specific 3-minute chunk of the movie.
That's fine.
Y'all will know what I'm talking about. Okay. Serpentine pursuit. J-Lo achieves the upper hand. Terrible bondage. The loosest ropes in the world in that scene.
Yeah.
And allow him to spring forth from his legs.
Yeah.
Kill a woman. But anyway,
quite a vertical leap on Voight as well, to be able to standing jump from that position to head scissors, and then I think he suffocates her, breaks her neck. I don't know.
Yeah,
she's dead
while praying over her in English and Latin. Yeah. There's a lot going on.
It's funny that you mentioned bondage as well, because there's a moment where I've seen this movie several times, but I never really thought about it that much. I think it's Owen Wilson is flipping through Voight's journal, and he's got Da Vinci-esque sketches of snake bondage equipment so that he can hold the anaconda in place. And sort of one of my favorite logical fallacies about this whole movie is that there are younger juvenile anacondas that are used in the movie as just the normal snakes.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be so much easier to just find a nest and catch some babies and raise the babies to be full size rather than try to take on the giant 25-foot anaconda that is pissed off.
Yeah.
Right.
For a snake hunter, he's kind of dumb in that way.
Yeah.
And he should turn the gun on them and be like, film this with your cameras.
Yeah.
Maybe like, I guess he doesn't want it. It's illegal. So I guess he doesn't want the documented, but I was just thinking like one of them has the idea and they're right. Like this would be cool to have on film, but yeah, he probably doesn't want that. I retract that. He doesn't want people to know what he's doing.
Amber?
Yes.
I know you wrote a haiku.
Yeah, of course.
Do you want me to go in the middle and you go last?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. I know. I started doing it first, just that way. It's like, hey, I'm not going to put everybody on the spot. Okay, here we go. Who wants to hunt snakes? Danger in the Amazon. Good luck, baby birds.
Yeah, baby bird. Nice.
That was good.
Good luck, baby birds.
I like that.
That one covers the full movie. I like that one better than mine.
No,
well,
they're
I
both
think
great.
between all of us, I think we'll get like pretty good chunks together. Someone can actually have an idea of what this movie's about.
Yeah, because imagine you haven't seen it and you hear all our haikus now. I think I want to watch this.
Yeah, true, and also like spoiler alert, the title of the movie is Anaconda, so you're probably going to see a really large snake.
Yeah.
But I was at that point you made about him not catching it. I was thinking that too about the baby snakes. Like there's literally a scene where they're all on the boat. He could have just grabbed one and just taken that one. He's like, no, I need to get that big one.
That never occurred to me, but that's a good thought. I don't know why I never thought that. I'm like, yeah, go get the big one.
I didn't even think about it watching the movie. It was as I was reading like the notes and that they used actual real young juvenile anacondas in the movie. I'm like, wait a second.
Take all those, just throw them in your pocket and get out.
Yeah. Okay, do I go now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, big snake on the prow. J-Lo Ice Cube crew in tow. Voight's accent hard pass.
That's good.
I honestly though, his accent is probably one of my favorite things about the movie because the entire characterization that Voight goes through with this guy is just probably on screen one of my favorite villains, period, because he looks kind of dirty. Like we know he's the bad guy in the way that he behaves, but he also has like a lecherous sneer and he's constantly sort of observing Juneffer Lopez as like a sexual object. So they layer on many reasons not to like him. Whereas in Jaws with a character like Quint, it's like he's nuts, but he's not necessarily a character that you really like dislike. You kind of understand his motivations and it's like, yeah, he's a psycho, but he still is kind of endearing and he has his reasons in this. Like Voight is one of like the slimiest, nastiest characters that I can think of when I'm thinking of like all-time movie villains.
Yeah, he is a snake. Like he becomes a snake in the process of the movie. Like every time you see him, he looks more and more like a snake. You're right. Yeah.
And I think J-Lo even hits him with the one-liner of like, "You're not the only one that can catch a snake," when she loosely ties him up the first time after seducing him.
Right.
Yeah. I was
in the head.
Really scared of his character when I was a kid.
He's scary. I get it. Yeah.
It was him, and I didn't know, like, when I would see him in other things, like, why don't I like this guy? But it was because of this movie. I had a similar thing with Jake Busey from The Frighteners.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know who let me watch that when I was a kid, but I didn't know why for, like, the longest time. I was like, why don't I like this guy? It was because of that movie.
This was in Jon Voight's, like, villain era, because this was right after Mission Impossible, like, the year after, which was kind of almost like a comeback, I think, for him. But I think he's really good in this movie. He does exactly what's required of him, and then some. Yeah, I mean, I've read a lot where people say how terrible he is.
In this movie or as a human being?
Both. And you're right. They're right about that one. They're right about it as a human, but I just buy it. I buy him in this movie. I think he does a good job. It's over the top. He knows it's over the top. That's what he was going for. I think he's good.
Yeah. I think that's important to note that, like, he knows what's going on. He knows what kind of movie he's in. Yeah. So the fact that I was so scared of him and so, like, as an adult, like, just still creeped out by the character, I think it means it is a good performance because you don't like him. When I say hard pass about his accent, it's just how like inconsistent it is and how, I mean, I haven't met many people from Paraguay, but it doesn't, it just sounds like there was one scene specifically where he reminded me of a line that Jack Black has in Nacho Libre. And I was like, that's a Mexican character. So he's like, his accent is like, it's not consistent, but the performance itself, he's still very menacing, very slimy, very gross.
It's almost as if like it's a Brando-esque type of voice in that
he's got the frown.
Yeah, exactly. But at least in what I was reading, it said that he based a lot of the portrayal on Inigo Montoya from Princess Bride, which I'm like, okay, I could see if at least if they're talking about the accent and like that's the thing that he was trying to latch onto. But it does feel a little bit Brando-ish in a lot of ways. And I watched an interview with Voight because he had a couple movies coming out around this time. I think he had like 4 or 5 movies in '97. He had just done Rosewood. He was in U-Turn. I think Most Wanted and Rainmaker were coming after this interview, at least. Yeah. And so they were talking about it, and the interviewer had seen the movie. And so she's like, okay, so this is like scene in the movie. And he's like, don't say it. Don't say it. She's like, okay, but like you do this thing. And he's like, don't say it.
Don't say it. Yeah.
And so they kind of like found a way to talk about this specific thing, and it's the wink. And so she asked about that, and it wasn't in the script, and he had been in makeup for like several hours at that point, and he basically like had an inside bet with like the makeup team that like, I'm gonna go do this. And so the scene happens, he winks, it becomes like this thing that he's known for almost in the movie because that scene is so gnarly on a lot of levels. And so it's kind of interesting just to hear that he didn't plan on it being really in the movie and it just happened organically, because I think that feeds into the sort of on-set nature of getting into the persona like of this character, you know?
Yeah. Like they said, okay, we've done this 5 times. Now just do one for you. Just do a wacky one for you. And that's the one they ended up using.
Yeah.
It is a bizarre moment. I've never understood it, never quite been able to explain it. But and the way it cuts away, like it didn't happen instantly. It's a strange moment. But it also is weird to me because this is going to get too far off the path. I have a comment that ties in with the beginning crawl of the movie, the words.
Yeah, well, I mean, go for it.
Okay.
I think it's the first time I've ever sat and read the words to this movie, honestly, was this time.
Oh, yeah. Well, then were you really confused later on when what was going on? It's the whole crawl is just to set up the one detail that it pukes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then eats it again. So that's the setup. And then you get a little taste of it with the monkey halfway through. And then at the end, of course, what happens. But if that always felt like a weird way to set that up to me, to like lay the groundwork for that. But the thing that confuses me about it is the words are written in such a way that I need to know what the actual truth is, because it makes it sound like you could be eaten by an anaconda and then be thrown up and still be alive. Because it's like, and then it'll kill you again, or it'll finally try to kill you and eat you. But then they explain that when it squeezes you, it crushes your bones and squeezes the life out of you. So I don't understand why the movie is saying that there's possibly you could be alive to wink.
That's fair. I mean, and the evidence that we've seen in the movie to that point is that everybody that has been in the clutches of the anaconda has in fact been dead before they've been swallowed. Yeah, it does seem that way. So yes, that line in the beginning of the movie is just so that when the snake barfs later, we're not like, why did the snake throw him up?
Yeah. Right.
So yeah,
it's a weird thing to just start your movie with. Here's some information you're going to need to know way later. Here you go. And it's about throwing up. Yeah.
I mean, I did kind of like that it threw up like the monkey, like it was a shotgun shell or something.
In slow motion. Yeah. It's like a slow motion throw up.
It's like he spit it at them too.
Yes.
Like, fuck your monkey.
Exactly. This thing's not alive. I like live prey.
Yeah.
Poor Jonathan Hyde, man. He gets
I know. That's my
He
favorite
gets
one.
shit on a lot in this movie, and he's the one I believe who gets the monkey thrown up on him, in addition to many other things. Yeah.
But yeah, there's I was reading a little bit, not a lot, but I was reading about anacondas this morning, and yeah, it's not accurate to how they hunt, how they don't attack humans. I was reading just some of the like, blurbs on Google, like when you press the drop down thing, and like it sounded like there aren't any like nothing on record that they've killed humans, which is interesting. Just that like if they attack them, it's because they feel threatened. So the way the snakes behave in this movie, that was like I made a note of like why I might think people don't like it. I'm like maybe because the snakes are acting like that, like they're smarter than they are. Like they have this like vengefulness to them. But that's a reason I do like it, is because movies like that, I'm like, that's what makes it scarier. Like this is not behaving the way that they normally would. But it is a bit silly because it even like makes it sound like a cat almost. And when I was looking at that,
roaring like crazy.
It goes. And I was reading, I was reading about the sounds. I literally Googled. I was like, "Dude, anacondas make sounds," and it was like there is like this like vibrating hum, I guess they do, and like a lower like growl that they do, but not that whatever. Not what they were doing in this movie.
Well, and like when you said that they don't behave like normal, it's like they will fly through a pane of glass if they think they can get to you.
Yeah. That
happens more than once in this movie. And then like even the baby anacondas are instantly trying to bite his finger off. Like they're so aggressive always. Yeah.
There's that scene, I can't remember which character falls in the water, but it's when the snake is going after J-Lo on the boat and it breaks through that little window and it's in her face. And then one of them, it might be Owen Wilson that falls in the water. I can't remember. One of them falls in the water and the snake just turns and goes like, huh?
Oh yeah.
Up.
I remember that. He does like a double take. He's like, what?
It's so Looney Tunes. Like it's so cartoonish. It literally just whips its head and goes, oh, I'm going to go after that one.
He heard the splash.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to go get him.
Yeah, because that's closer than the meal that's right in
front of you.
But I do love that the snake is sassy in this movie. Like if you give it attitude, it'll turn and look at you. Like especially John Voight. Like you could tell that these two know each other.
Yeah.
They have a history.
He got beef.
Yeah, that's why he's really, the snake is really mean to Voight when he finally catches him. He just like stares at him while he's breaking all the bones in his like cheeks and neck. And they have that like sort of intimate moment of the stare down of like, you've been trying to catch me for all this time and now it's my turn to finally turn the tables and squeeze your ass to death. So I love that the snake has personality in this, because I think ultimately this is, I think, very fair to say falls into the category of like Jaws knockoffs, not a shark bait movie, but a movie that definitely focuses on a lot of the things that Jaws does in terms of presenting a creature feature. So to go in a movie like Jaws, where the shark does have like some personality, but it is very limited and we don't see it that much. In this movie, the snake's got a lot of personality and we do see it quite often. And so, like you said, I think that could be something that is a turnoff for people. Like, oh, the snakes don't behave like this. I can't enjoy anything about this movie now. But if you had to guess beyond that, like, can you hang your hat on anything you think someone might say is the reason that this is a bad movie?
Well, go ahead, Amber.
Well, I was just going to say, with my notes that I took, I just put, that it's inaccurate. It's very over the top. And I saw that Jon Voight, I can't remember if he got nominated or if he won the Razzie. So I think people just they didn't like him. And he is in, like we mentioned, he's in a lot of the movie. So I think he was like a point of it that people didn't like. But at the same time, the things that they would dislike, I like. I like that it's over the top. I like that snake is ridiculous. But I think if you don't like movies like that, or if you didn't go in with that mindset of like, I'm gonna watch this like, creature feature schlock, you wouldn't like it.
Yeah. It's like, if you try to apply too much logic to this movie, it's gonna fall apart. There's just a lot of even like on the technical level, like there's a POV shot of the snake under the water and it's approaching a rope and the rope gets stuck on the camera lens at one point. So it like stays with the camera for a second and it has to like shake it off. Yeah. And also like when I said that, when I was comparing it to Jurassic World earlier, I didn't mean to imply that this movie is very well written, like the characters and the dialogue. It's got some very silly dialogue.
Yes.
But most of it, like you said, Amber, like knows it's doing it on purpose. It's not like they know what he's saying is ridiculous. Like, you killed my warrior snake, like all that stuff he says in the movie, John Voight's character. It's all crazy. Yeah, the snake will like hold you tighter than your true love when it squeezes you to death. That sort of thing. And then, so I said, you don't want to get bogged down in logical questions, but there's one that I can't get out of my head. And I'm wondering what you guys think. Do you think that a snake wrapped around a tree that caught a man jumping from a waterfall out of the air is enough to take down a tree the size of a waterfall?
I feel like they wanted us to focus on the roots not being necessarily like held together all that well at that point.
Okay.
And so it would really come down to like the physics of how heavy that size of snake is, because it would sort of be like a lever by the time it's that far off the tree, if it's just like anchored to the tree.
Yeah.
Like just if it's ready to go, you're not going to need that much momentum to push it over. But the snake did climb the tree in the first place and didn't knock it down, so there's that.
Maybe the weight of the catch was a lot, put a lot of strain on the tree. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but it was interesting. I was curious what y'all thought.
Well, also the fact that I didn't write it down, but I was reading about like what the average size of an actual anaconda is, and this one is, well, both, there's two of them that are big. They're meant to be much bigger. So like a real anaconda, no, I don't think that could happen. But the fact that this one is supposed to be this giant mega anaconda, maybe it could, because, like you said, the roots were already kind of coming up. But yeah.
Yeah, because when the tree falls, like the camera cuts to the base of the tree. So I don't really think they're thinking that hard about whether or not the tree is anchored well.
And then the tree falls.
Right. The tree falls, and that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
But you brought up something that I want to talk about, because I had always asked myself this question watching it previously, in that I was like, are there two anacondas? The movie is called Anaconda. And then other than Voight's line about "you killed my warrior snake," I don't think there's ever any explicit expression that there's multiples of these large snakes. It makes it seem like he's hunting one. And then she delivers 3 rifle rounds to the head at close range. And I've always been like, I don't see how the snake survives that.
No.
And then there's another snake. And so I was like, all right, I guess, like in Jaws, you shoot the shark and it didn't kill the shark at close range, even though you shot him several times. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to think too hard about it. But then I started to like think a little bit more this time, and I was like, there's no way. Like that is snake brains right there.
Yeah.
After the rifle round. So it definitely didn't live. And logically, if the snake at the end dies with like an axe to the head, then yeah, I figure 3 or 4 rifle rounds to the dome is probably going to be enough to stop the anaconda. However, the language surrounding how they describe it never felt to me like, oh my God, there's another one, right? Like that pressure of like, we finally did the thing, we got rid of the thing that's been hunting us and scaring us, and then the realization that, oh crap, there's another one, and maybe there's a lot more than just these two.
Yeah, the movie never addresses that at all. I know what you're saying. Like, even if it didn't kill the snake, you see close-ups of that snake. It's animatronic head several times at the end, and it does not have bullet wounds or any bullets going on there. But yeah, they do act like it's one. Like, we only have a shot at this one, and we got to get it. But yeah, it doesn't. They just kind of brush aside all that. They're like, whatever can get us, whatever can get the humans safe in this scene, and then we'll just move on to the next and forget everything that happened before. Like, and do it all over again.
Yeah, I'm curious if Columbia came down and mandated that it had to be less than 90 minutes because it's like an hour 29 and some change. Yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me if there was just like a tiny little bit of exposition here or there to be like, oh, this was like a worker bee type of snake, and what we're really looking for is the queen kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that language is just absent from the movie, but I think now makes it a good time to go and take a look back at the trailer, and we'll see if they tell us that there's going to be more than one, because I know the second movie I think is, and it's either Anaconda 2. Is that Blood Orchid?
It's Blood Orchid, and I think it is Anacondas. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, I think it's plural.
Like, we're not making that mistake again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure that we disclose that there's multiple anacondas.
Okay, that'd be funny though if the trailer was like, and guess what? There's more than one.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I have not seen this trailer. I'm excited.
I haven't either.
All right, let's go.
This trailer rewind is brought to you by Saran's Snake Farm and Jungle Adventure. Planning your next road trip through the Amazon basin, or just somewhere off I-87 between nowhere and regret? Then slither on down to Saran's Snake Farm and Jungle Adventure. Family owned, questionably operated, and definitely not regulated, Saran's is your one-stop roadside attraction for all things hiss, scales, and venomous vibes. Come on down and meet their star attractions. Julia, the jumbo anaconda. She's 30 feet long and just a little hungry. Then there's Squeezy Pete, the world's cuddliest boa constrictor. Just make sure you don't hug him back. And Carl, the suspiciously sentient cobra who's been giving management the side-eye since Tuesday. Bring the kids, bring a waiver, and don't forget to check out the gift shop featuring real snakeskin wallets and authentic jungle oil cologne with notes of sweat, panic, and monkey blood. That's Saran's Snake Farm. Conveniently located just 17 miles off Route 49, past the third abandoned gas station and the suspiciously overturned tour boat. When you hit the giant hand-painted sign that says turn back, you're almost there. And remember, Saran's Snake Farm, where the danger is real and the snakes are mostly accounted for. And now, back to the show.
Columbia.
All right, everybody. Double check
Hear it
your gear.
okay?
Make sure it's all
Yeah.
on board. Pray you
Oh, we
didn't
got to talk
forget
about Eric.
Stoltz, yeah.
We got to talk about why he's in this movie.
Okay. This river can kill you in 1,000 ways.
In the waters of the Anaconda,
There's a legend Yerishama worship giant snakes as gods, protectors.
Snakes.
no matter what you see,
This skin is 3 or 4 years old. Whatever shed it has grown since then.
no matter what you hear,
What was that?
There's something down there.
That's right.
I really mean it.
I really mean it too.
no matter what you do,
Oh my god. Daddy? He's not breathing. No!
Down.
TriStar Pictures
Interesting.
invites you
It's
on a
tough, a lot of
journey
the-
into the
Yeah.
grip of fear.
Oh, Danny Trejo was in the
Anaconda.
trailer. Oh.
Yeah. Killing himself.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, I mean, it really got into like some fast editing there, I think, to showcase like a ton of action, which, having just watched the movie again, doesn't feel like is that close together. Like, it's very methodical for a long period of the film, and then things speed up in like probably at least the 45-minute mark. Then we're kind of like on the downward slope on the back
More
end.
suspense. It's like, we don't know this area. We don't know this jungle. There's a bug that gets in, like Eric Stoltz. There's monkeys. They're the baby snakes before you really see like the big snake.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you do see it when it kills that jaguar or panther thing, but you don't. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
I forgot
it's
about
more
that, yeah.
suspenseful. That scene always makes me laugh because the whatever cat it is, their eyes like bug out of their head. It's so funny. And I remember one time I was watching and I paused it and I sat there laughing for the longest time because it just looks insane.
It's so weird that the trailer assigns the tagline "Don't look down," which I'm pretty sure is not on anything. Like none of the. I used to have like the VHS. I don't remember seeing that at all. And it's like there's 2 scenes that involve heights, sort of. Yeah, they do, but they don't really.
You see it in the trailer too. It's like you see the waterfall scene coming down.
And he's got to jump down. So it's like, he's not avoiding jumping down. He just gets caught. Yeah. And then same thing with her. She has to drop. So it's kind of like, it's just a very weird thing to assign to this movie. Don't look down. Like, cause as you said, Amber, like the snake is coming at them from eye level or above many times. So the other thing I just want to say is it was very cool to hear that. Is like Don LaFontaine, that voiceover guy who used to do all the trailer or a lot of them. That was cool to hear his voice again.
Yeah,
I mean, those voices used to be awesome back in those trailers.
Usually when we watch the trailers, it's kind of more like interactive, but I'm like, hey, he's doing a great job of telling us what's happening. So let's just let it play out and let this man do his job. And he's great at it for a reason. And that was a staple of 90s filmmaking. And I feel like it takes a lot of pressure off the editor in that the way we see trailers now, they're almost made like kind of like mini movies depending on the movie that you're going to see. Some of them obviously want to sell like the stupid shit that the movie is going to be the stupid shit. So you want that in the trailer, but a lot of them now are made much more like cinematically than this. And like, this is so very clearly sort of like a sales pitch.
Selling a product.
Approach. Yes, exactly. But sold me for sure.
Yeah, I would have definitely been into that. And like, I liked how when they showed the words, "Don't look down," they had the little snake skin moving by behind it real fast.
I do want to say about that "Don't look down" thing. If they were going to accurately portray an anaconda, that I think would make sense. Because when I was reading about them, they're not on land that much. They're in the water mostly. So it would make sense that way. But then they wouldn't hunt you because they don't really like humans. Like they don't really hunt humans. So then you can do that. But
don't look down, but even if you do, it's not going to matter.
It's not going to hurt you.
But I mean, for a movie like this, where you're on the Amazon, it'd be like, on the Amazon, don't go in the water, that kind of thing. Because it's like, there's probably worse things. Well, maybe not worse, but additional things that will do damage to you in the water. As,
which is
Stoltz mentions.
Yeah, it's mentioned, and it's mentioned in this movie. It's the. Did I write it down? I think the kangaroo. I think it's called.
The urethra fish.
Yeah, it's mentioned in this film. And when I was watching it, I was like, oh, they mentioned that in the rundown because they're in Brazil in the rundown. And Rosario Dawson tells when they're about to go swimming, she tells Dwayne's character that those kangaroos can swim up. I think she uses the word pito or something like that. Like you can swim in your urethra. And I was like, that's crazy. And so I looked up that also. And I guess it's a thing that happened to like one guy. But it's like it's like a urban
too many.
It's like a urban legend type thing that it's not like a dangerous thing that can, or not a common thing that can happen, but it has happened before. And I guess it gets in there and like sticks in there with it has like spikes or something. And
keep your wiener closed in the Amazon.
So that could be the tagline.
I mean, we could just make the whole movie about that scary ass little fish, but I wouldn't be surprised if the rundown saw that here in Anaconda and was like, this deserves a better moment than Anaconda ends up giving it, which, it's used a little bit to a more humorous effect in the rundown. I mean, that movie has a bigger sense of humor overall than this. But we talked about Stoltz a little. We're going to continue that. But later in the movie, when Voight reveals that like his entire plan was to like sort of do this thing to get the boat after, their first plan failed, he says, you forgot about the wasp. And so I'm like, okay, I've always wondered this. How did he plant the wasp inside the respirator? Like there's an oxygen tank and then there's a tube to the mouthpiece. I think there's a snorkel too for some reason, which I don't know why he would need an oxygen tank if he's using a snorkel, but somehow, some way, Voight slips this poisonous wasp into the thing, and it doesn't immediately cause a problem. So it definitely wasn't in the oxygen tank, because that's not possible. So it feels like a little bit too much of a stretch. You would have been better off just doing the wiener fish and being like, oh, the thing got him, and now we have to get him to the hospital because we got to get that thing out of him. But I mean, I guess, you do the tracheotomy and all that right there on the boat. Makes Voight look like the hero. I get plot convenience wise, but technicality wise, I have no idea how he would have sleight of handed that wasp into his mouth.
Yeah.
When I was watching that scene earlier, I wondered if I feel like he just said that to piss her off because she was already upset. And he was like,
fair.
She was, saying the things that were his fault. And he was like, you forgot about the wasp. I thought maybe he was being sarcastic, but if he wasn't, I have the same question. How did he do that? How did he know that he was going to have to save him? What if it had just killed him, and then his plan would have failed?
Yeah, he could have just let him die. Yeah, I always assumed that he slipped it in there. I'm not sure how. But his plan was so carefully kind of orchestrated towards we have to get them here that somehow he knew he had to get Stoltz out of the picture. Yeah, but I assumed I don't know how he did it. That's kind of another logical question. They don't ask you to look at too deeply. They're like, just accept this.
Nobody's gonna watch this movie more than once.
Mateo too, the guy, the first one that gets killed, the local.
Mm-hmm.
She blames him also. She blames John Voight's character for Mateo, but he didn't really do anything to Mateo. They went in the water, and Mateo is just the one that got caught. He didn't make the snake get Mateo. Right. So that worked in his favor. That this local, who probably could have informed them more about where they were going and all this stuff.
Well, he's in cahoots with Voight, Mateo.
Right, but he But he didn't.
Okay, go ahead.
But he didn't sick the snake on him, is what I'm saying.
No. Yeah. I was just wondering though, because kind of to build on your point, when she's mad at him for Mateo, it's like she doesn't even know that he.
Yeah.
It's very convoluted, him and Mateo and Danny Trejo were apparently a trio, according to that picture we see, and that
brothers.
Yeah, and then he's very calm about it too. He's like, I'm afraid that snake just made a meal of that Mateo guy.
Yeah. He didn't even go look for him. Yeah. He's like, maybe I'll go some other time. Yeah.
Yeah. In the water. Yeah, Mateo's dead. I'm good.
Yeah.
For a movie where people are so obviously killed in the water, I feel like people go into the water without enough reservation later in the movie. All you have to do is be in the water and you're going to get eaten or killed. It's happened to 3 people. Actually, one all you have to do is be on the side of the boat, kind of close to the water. But then they're like, I understand they don't have a lot of options, but later on they're like, well, we got to winch this out. Okay, y'all go that way, I'll go this way. It's I don't know. It might be better to just not go in the water. I don't know. I guess they don't have any options, but they seem a little too calm in the water.
Yeah, I forgot though that he did end up losing Mateo, which is weird because he was.
Right. It hurts his plan.
Yeah, exactly. His plan. That's why he had to recruit Owen Wilson. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
it's weird that unless she's saying to him, I know that you and Mateo were working together, but how would she have known that?
Right.
No, I think it was more that Ice Cube was willing to go and look for Mateo because they looked at him like he's the captain of the boat. He's part of the team. Ice Cube's like, I'm going to go. And Voight's just like, nah, not today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
So she's just like, you don't even care in this situation. And this is part of our team. Why are we going to help you with anything when we can't trust you to help us with anything? So I think the two kind of get lumped together. But I think, as we've mentioned, this sort of comes down overall to sort of how the film is written. It may have been chopped up a little bit where maybe there's more stuff in there too. But what we see is it's just good enough to show us that Voight doesn't even care about somebody that we are supposed to understand is his friend, for lack of a better word, right? If he's not his friend, he's at least his partner, and Voight just totally doesn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, he loses. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it makes more sense for him to let Ice Cube go find him.
Yeah.
He's like, you'll probably die in the water, but I need to get you out of the way anyway. So, yeah. But what were you going to say, Amber? Sorry.
Well, he loses Mateo, so then he recruits Owen Wilson, then he loses him, and that's when he's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to get anybody to willingly work with me. So now there's no one else that's gonna help me. So I just have to like force them at gunpoint to help me now.
Owen Wilson being like the fastest recruit you've ever seen in your life. Like he's gung-ho pretty quickly. He's holding his girlfriend at gunpoint.
Yeah.
That scene where she's crying, like they have like a good minute where she's like bawling, like heaving, upset over him dying. It's like he just held you at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And all you did was make out with him in the woods, right? I mean, I don't know. It was kind of crazy how sad she was because I was like, he just had a gun in your face, but that's okay.
That's true. And yes, Owen Wilson, this is one of like his very early films. He's kind of like not even the Owen Wilson that we know at the time that he's making this movie. But it's like my options are go to bed with my girlfriend or talk to the Snake Man who's like throwing weird barbs at me behind my back, like teasing me about being man enough kind of thing. And somebody's like, well, no, I got to hear him out. Of course, I'll catch up with you. And then, like you said, he's immediately on board. No regard for Stoltz. And I like Eric Stoltz in this role. I think he's good. The movie is maybe a little handcuffed by losing him to just like the convenience sake of it, because he's a character that survives through everything just sort of like by not participating. You know, like had he actually been involved, he might have to make a sacrifice, and they're not going to let him and Ice Cube and J-Lo all walk away. So somebody's going to be the odd person out there if he's awake. So I don't know. I feel like he was not utilized well, but he's still good when he's on screen.
I wonder why he took this role. I mean, I guess probably money, but it's like, I feel like he has nothing to do. They get rid of him so quick. They sideline him. He's in bed. And then at the end of the movie, they kind of give him a hero moment where he gets to come up and be a hero. And then in the very next scene, she's like, oh, he passed out again. we got to put him back to bed. She's like, there is one really cool effect that I like, which is when he saves them. Voight grabs his neck and the wound starts bleeding again. But the way they show it, I'm like, how did they do that? It looks so realistic.
Yeah.
And obviously gross, upsetting, but like, I hate it. But my curious thing about Eric Stoltz is it's kind of a nothing part. And he really does just lay in a bed most of the movie. It's kind of, I don't know.
That is fair. That's why, I'm not 100% sure why it might have been a thing where it's like the producers wanted him, and then him being attached maybe early helped get other people, or maybe he was attached when other names were attached, and then it would have made more sense under those circumstances when I look at some of the other names that were listed in consideration. But that moment in this movie with the throat, I think with all the things that happen, that's like the most tactile for me, because like, oh, he's sticking his thumb in his like tracheotomy wound.
I can't. I've got one. I've got a tracheotomy.
It looks like it hurts.
And I would always have that fear. It's just a quick story. When I had this, it was after my accident, and it closed really fast. Like I remember when they took it out, they put the bandage and stuff. I remember it was closed it was fully closed on a Wednesday. I don't know why I remember it was a Wednesday, but it was less than a week that it closed. And I had that thing in there for a couple months. And I always, even now, like if I throw itches, I hate to scratch near it. I'm like, what if I stick my finger in it? And so me and Scott have talked about before, like things that we don't like to see on screen. Like Scott has a fingernail thing. I have a throat thing. I don't like to see stuff going in the throat. So as much as like this movie, like I said, like I think, it's fine when I like show my niece, whatever. I watched it with her and I couldn't watch either of the throat scenes. Like when they first do the tracheotomy and then when he's 6, I can never watch those scenes. Those are I can't do it.
Ever since Amber told me about the degloving thing the other day.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to stop thinking. I keep thinking about that stupid scene in that movie that I'd forgotten. There's a really gross finger thing in Final Destination Bloodlines. But anyway, I can't stop thinking about it because I remember it now. And you said you knew that it was called degloving.
Yeah, I just found that out.
It made it so gross.
Yeah.
Could it be a Marty McFly situation again, where he started filming the movie as Ice Cube's character for 2 weeks, and they're like, "You're not working out. We're gonna have to recast you." Not with Michael J. Fox, with Ice Cube.
Yeah, Ice Cube.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked that there was some like production hiccups along the way with this. But I do think that it's a good sign that all of us can see something that's like a very small practical effect like this, because like, look, the CGI is 1997. This is like before sort of like the dawn of it becoming normal in cinema. But to use it where they needed to use it and not to just throw it in where it wasn't necessary, and going ahead and doing all the practical stuff as much as possible, including the trach scene, both of them actually, and to build a 40-foot long snake that's 6,000 pounds with like 100 different motors in it. Granted, the snake, similar to like the shark in Jaws, had a lot of animatronic issues. And one of the interviews I watched was Ice Cube celebrating, I think, the 20th anniversary at the time of Anaconda. And he was saying that a lot of people were already kind of scared of snakes in general. And then the animatronic snake they were all afraid of, not because it was a snake, but because of the malfunctioning. And he said that like it would just go nuts sometimes. It almost injured Juneffer Lopez. It smashed the like craft services table at one point. So a lot of the reactions that we see of them sort of like being scared of the animatronic snake is like real, because we don't know if the thing is going to flip out,
and it swings a lot, like in their face.
Does,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to put the fear of God in you because the operator doesn't have control over this thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's head over and do some trivia right now.
Time for trivia.
Let's see. I only got 3 questions. They were a little tough to suss out, but okay, so we'll go with number 1. I think if you want to like tag team the answer, or I don't know how we're going to do this, but we're going to do it nonetheless. So question 1, the green anaconda is the largest snake that's native to the Americas, and the second longest snake in the world. What is the longest snake in the world?
Is it? Well, wait. I thought I saw something the other day that said King Cobra was really big, but I don't know if it's bigger than an anaconda. Anaconda is really long. Maybe like a python. Or did you say
is
green?
a python?
Oh, Monty Python. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I know. Do you know any kinds of pythons? I don't. There's like a black python. I don't know if that's it. There's yellow.
I was gonna guess a boa constrictor. That's what I was gonna guess, but I don't know.
There are some large boas out there, but the reticulated python is the longest snake in the world, native to South and Southeast Asia. I know we're supposed to do movie trivia, but here we're doing snake trivia because this is what I got for you.
Okay.
But I believe that the green anaconda is the heaviest snake in the world. So it's not the longest, but I think you could argue that it is still the biggest snake in the world when it gets to full size. But they're usually like in the 18 to 20 foot range, not the 25 to 40 foot range.
How many John Voights does it weigh?
That's a good question. Enough to take down a large tree that isn't well rooted. Okay, so question number 2. There were a couple of actresses that turned down the role of Terry Flores. Can you name them?
Okay, this is 97. So we got big stars now. Julia Roberts, Demi Moore. I'm thinking about if maybe I need to go younger too, like Cameron Diaz was big around this time.
She was. If this helps to inform it, the character was also at one time written as Terry Porter before they changed.
I was going to ask about.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't even think about the last name. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. I'm trying to think of like a big hit. Oh, Sandra Bullock was huge.
I was about to say Sandra
Let's say
Bullock.
her. Let's say her.
Say her. Yeah.
We're going to go with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Sandy's not on the board, but she actually, I'm going to give you half credit because I understand the reasoning. Sandra Bullock was in the lead of multiple Juneffer Lopez movies that she didn't end up taking. So I know for sure The Cell and Enough, Sandra Bullock was both attached at one point to be the lead in both those and ended up pulling out. So Sandy, not quite, but partial credit.
Okay. What about Julia Roberts?
No, not
She's
quite.
too old. Well, I was gonna say she's not that old actually. I was gonna say too old, but she was like 27. Was Cameron Diaz? Was that sort of on the right track?
She was not. She was not. I would not have expected the answers that I'm looking at right here.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna because I'm thinking Lake Placid was Bridget Fonda.
It was not Bridget Fonda.
What about Sigourney Weaver, action heroine?
No, I'm sure she was not going to attach herself to this after Alien. She's like, I did one creature. That's good enough.
Oh, are you saying they were attached before? Or
there were two people that were actually like going to do the role that ended up turning down the role. So they were offered the part.
Okay, I thought we meant like, okay, in the conversation, these people had it. Hold on. Let me think. Okay. Are these TV people or are these more movie people?
They're movie people, but I would say arguably they're both also maybe more well-known for TV.
You know what? This was not a great period for Nicole Kidman this middle of the 90s. Was she one of them?
I'm going to give you another partial credit because Nicole was in the conversation, but she was not actually offered the role.
Okay.
I was thinking Heather Graham for some reason.
Might have been a good one. Not Heather Graham, though. The two that I'm looking at are Gillian Anderson and Juliana Margulies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Makes sense,
Literally?
Though, right? Like, at the time, big
Juliana Margulies popped into my head and I didn't say her.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
You're right. They do. Yeah, they do both. And then back then they were both on hit shows. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's the only reason that she popped into my head because I have a friend who's binging ER and I looked at her tweets not too long before we started this. So she did pop into my head, but I was like, no way, not her.
And I see this is these are the days when TV was looked down on by movie stars.
Exactly.
So it's like that makes sense that they would offer it. Well, if you want to jump into movies, you have to take the Anaconda movie.
Yeah.
like here's your step. Yeah.
Yeah, and they both said, "No, we're on hit TV shows. I think we'll stick with that for now." But the other ones who were sort of brought up into consideration were one, Sandra Bullock, two, Nicole Kidman, which you both mentioned, but also Jennifer Aniston, also hit TV show at the time, Kate Beckinsale, Juliette Binoche, which
that's crazy.
Exactly, and Kim Basinger, who I think sort of fits the mold of like options that would have made sense.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Okay, this was the same year as LA Confidential. So yes, I see that. I was like trying to think. Kim Basinger seems a little bit out. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I feel like she was too old for this role then.
Yeah, she was older.
Yeah.
I think she had established that she's already doing like more mature roles nonetheless.
Oh, okay.
So like to go back to like a PG-13 schlocky snake movie is not necessarily something she wants to do.
And to be honest, yeah, you're right. They have to offer it to you if you're sort of in a more fallow period. Like if you're on top of the world, they're probably not going to think you're going to do the Anaconda movie.
Yeah, you do LA Confidential, and it's like, okay, like I like the decision I made with my career, and then maybe you're not getting offers, and your agent says, "Well, I've got this movie called Anaconda. They're filming in the Amazon, and there's a giant animatronic snake that you're going to have to deal with." Pass.
And John Voight looks like this.
Yeah, John Voight's in it. Oh, definite pass.
You like Voight?
Okay, well, let's go to question 3 then. We'll see if we get you some more points on the board. What were the nicknames for the two animatronic anacondas? We did kind of let it slip earlier.
I think I know.
Okay.
Go for it.
One's Warrior, I think.
That's right.
And is the other one Queen?
It is. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why when Voight says that, it's out of context. Because, like, on set, of course, they know that the one that they're dealing with we're dealing with the Warrior one or Queen today because they're different shots and different sizes and all that. But to say it in the movie without establishing that there's like a warrior class, similar to like I mentioned about the bees, right? There's a queen and then there's like sort of workers and defenders and stuff like that. So they didn't explain like the hierarchy of the snake kingdom in order to make that line make sense.
Yeah.
But if he just let it slip in the reading and like it took me until like this time to actually hear that. So it's probably in one ear, right out the other. I mean, there's a movie that's just completely in reverse or there's a scene in this movie that's completely in reverse at the waterfall. So obviously they didn't care that much about those little details. They're like, look, we can't back the boat up. So what we're going to do is we're going to film it going forward and then play it going backwards. But the water is going up the waterfall.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Like, come on. Attention to detail here. But yeah, made it through the final edit into the movie and is what it is. So you got the 2 points there for the bonuses there. I'll give you an extra opportunity here. What do you think the cost per second for the CGI of the snakes was?
I know this also.
Okay, there you go. You'll get another one.
It's $100,000.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's probably why they use practical effects. Like, this movie is going to cost $50 million just to animate the snakes. That's why we don't see a ton of the CGI with the snakes, but yeah.
But it sounds like the animatronic's scarier.
Yeah. Especially if they don't know how to pilot the snake and the animatronics stop working. But in looking up the trivia stuff, one of the things that I saw that I liked was that this is Dame Helen Mirren's one of her favorite movies, according to Rotten Tomatoes, which is hilarious. Awesome. But I love it for her. And also, the favorite thing that I read about this movie isn't even true, but there was a rumor that there was an Ice Cube director's cut called Iced Anaconda that was just 10 minutes of the Ice Cube scenes in the movie. Okay. And this is not true, but I so desperately wish it was.
I read that also, but I heard that there is like footage that I mean, you could check if this is wrong, that there is like footage that he did take with the camera that he was holding, like, you know, throughout the movie. So there's footage of that exists, I believe. Cool.
Well, sometimes he's got the big film camera. Other times he's just got like a camcorder. Yeah. But did you guys notice his first line in the movie? His introduction line?
Was it "Today was a good day" or something?
Today's a good day. Yeah. That was funny.
And he's listening. I made a note of how he's listening to a song by Mac 10 that he's featured on and he co-wrote. So Ice Cube exists in this universe.
He's aware of his presence.
Yeah.
That reminds me of such a weird part, which is when Ice Cube is listening to his music and it's loud, and Jonathan Hyde keeps turning it down, and then he, like, after the second time he turns it down, he goes, "I could easily hire someone to kill you."
Right? I was like, what is up with the professor? Fuck? He's nuts.
Yeah.
That's
very strange. Very
how
strange.
do you know people who do that?
Yeah.
Is it just a money thing that he has money? I do want to say, just while we're talking about Ice Cube, that he has my favorite line in the movie, which is when John Voight unfurls the snake skin.
Great.
And he looks at it and he's like, "Is snakes out here this big?" Like the way he says it. It's so, there's something, because I tend to do it too. Instead of saying like "that's," I'll say "it's," and saying "is snakes out here this big?" It's so funny to me.
Do you know what? I watched it with captions on Hulu, and they wrote it as "is snakes," like IS.
Oh, is snakes?
That's how they wrote it on the captions. Yeah. I noticed.
Sounds like if he was drunk, is snakes out here?
Right.
I mean, you see that like 50-foot long snake skin in front of you.
Yeah.
And, you know,
anything
spirit of
like,
God.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear this story about this too. Like he's like, "Snakes don't eat people. What about this?" And we never get any more.
Yeah, the other one barfed me up, and I ran away and survived that one. But that Ice Cube line is the line that I remember from this movie, and I swore that it was in the trailer. I was like, it has to be, right? And they show that scene, but they stopped short of him delivering that line. So I was like, wow, it really had an impression on me just from the film itself.
See, I think there was another one too, because you said that line. I remembered the next line where she goes, "Snakes don't eat people." Was that in? I thought that was in the trailer too, but I don't know if it was
in another trailer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There might be a second trailer, because I didn't think I saw it in the one we watched. So that whole scene is a good trailer scene, and it's missing from that trailer we saw.
Right.
They could have used all that in the trailer.
Well, since we're talking about Jonathan Hyde and Ice Cube right now, I mean, first of all, Jonathan Hyde is a very good actor, and this is a very caricatured portrayal of whoever this guy is. I mean, he's kind of an asshole from the beginning, you know, threatens to have Ice Cube killed just for some reason. He's hitting golf balls into the Amazon. Like, sometimes he uses the net, but there's also scenes where he's just like shooting the golf balls into the Amazon. I don't know why he's really part of the movie. I feel like maybe he doesn't have to be there, and then Stoltz can fill in some of that because Stoltz is the guy who I guess is the director, but seems to have a lot of knowledge. And it's when he goes down that Ice Cube says, well, we can't finish the movie because Kale is out of commission or whatever. So
I think he's the money guy. I think he's like the producer.
Okay,
well,
that makes sense.
okay. When I was reading the synopsis and it had like with the people's like their what part of the team they were, it listed him as a narrator, and I was like, why would the narrator of this documentary need to be there though? Like, you just watch the footage and narrate it. So
When they're showing Jonathan Hyde, they're actually showing them filming him narrating, like you're saying. It's like, what documentary has the narrator on screen? That's very strange.
That's so weird.
He's like, free trip to the Amazon, yes please. But that whole character is very strange. Like, he's super aggressive very early on, so it's like I don't look at him as a character that I'm really cheering for. I'm not like, oh my god, rooting for him to die, but when it comes to like the hierarchy of people that I don't want to see die, he's near the bottom.
I think he turns it around because Voight makes him like his servant. That gets you on his side a little bit because he tries to stand up for himself. And then when he kind of bonds with Ice Cube and Juneffer Lopez over like getting home and like comfort, I think they definitely make that choice about part of the way through to steer you more towards his side. And they make him a little bit funnier too as it goes along. So I think they're trying to kind of mold you to be like, want to be on his side for the big waterfall scene.
Yeah, because now you like him and then you get to see him. Right. But yeah, I wrote that I put Jonathan Hyde in top Jonathan Hyde in top Jonathan Hyde form. That's what I wrote, because it's very similar to like his character in The Mummy. Who's
Jumanji too.
Jumanji also. It's Jonathan Hyde. He's so good, and like Scott mentioned, you don't really see that kind of character in adventure films anymore.
Right.
Even like I'm thinking 28 years later, maybe Ray Fiennes' character is kind of like that. But I really like his performance, and I do end up liking the character. And even though I do like the character, after a while, his kill is still my favorite, even if it doesn't make the most sense, even if it would never happen. That's my favorite kill of the movie.
No, that's the highlight of the movie. I'd say, as far as that goes. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, he's great.
And what do you think of Ice Cube in this? I mean, I know this is like, we're really here to like focus on Juneffer Lopez, and we've kind of like been distracted about that. We'll get back on course. But in terms of like Ice Cube movies, he's made a lot of them at this point. Not at this point in time in 1997, but in this point in 2025, he's got a lot of movies to look back on. So is this like a positive memory of Ice Cube? You look at this as like a good performance for him career-wise?
Yeah, I think he plays a straight guy a lot and even though he does a lot of comedies, and I feel like in this one, I mean, he's yelling a lot, like screaming and in fear, and I don't feel like he does that a lot. He's really funny in it, and like I said, he has my favorite line of the movie. So, I like him in this.
I think he's kind of fun in it. They're not stretching him very much. Like, he's not asked to do a lot. That's not outside of the Ice Cube, what his, I guess, acting realm is mostly like. But you're right. Oh, there was one scene where I was watching. There's a lot of the movie where he's in the water, and I was thinking, this must have been a bitch to shoot this movie, because, I mean, I can't imagine how long he had to spend in water. He goes into the water like 3 or 4 times, and he spends like a long time there swimming and fighting. I'm just like, he must have
more
been in the
physical
water.
for him.
Yeah, I was like, he must have been in the water so much. That seems like it would suck to have to do that all day.
Yeah, especially if you're filming a lot of this, like, actually, I think it's in the Brazilian rainforest, the river they use. So, I mean, that urethra fish is probably in the water somewhere there. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to hear that written in the script and then be like, okay, time to get in the river.
Right.
No, get my body double in here, please. Yeah. And sacrifice his wiener to the wiener fish. But let's go over to the bonus wheel, because you did well on the trivia. So I'm going to ask some bonus questions here as soon as I remember to actually bring the wheel up on my Windows, which for some reason I didn't do on time, but it's a click away. I added some questions to the wheel over time. Let's go Scott, you've been here a few more times. We're going to go with Amber first, and then we'll go back and forth. We'll trade the 4 questions that we get off the wheel. So, Amber, this one's for you. You get to fan cast a modern Anaconda. Ignore the one that is kind of like happening, and then we'll see if it actually does happen. But I want you to give me someone for the Jon Voight role, someone for the J-Lo role, and someone for the Ice Cube role.
I hate this question. I got it when I did the Van Helsing. This is where my brain freezes and I forget everybody who exists. And I also don't want to pick people who are fan cast all the time.
Yeah.
So it needs to be like a 20-something-ish Latina actress. Actually, I won't go 20-ish. I'll go Melissa Barrera.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah,
she could be it. And then Ice Cube, I want him to be. I would want a rapper again, flexing his acting chops. So, damn.
Who do you have in that category right now? Kid Cudi?
Well, he's yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll do. They're similar, around the same age, because they're Ice Cube and J-Lo are supposed to be childhood friends, aren't they? Or like friends from their youth, aren't they supposed
college,
to?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, that's a good one. I'll take that one, Kid Cudi, and then creepy guy.
Think of old creep.
Yeah. Should it actually be someone South American? I don't know who could do. Oh, you know who I think it could be, but I don't know his name. It's the guy that was in Narcos. I think he's Brazilian. I don't know his name.
What season? The is it only one?
He's in Civil War also, which I haven't seen, but he's in that.
Wagner Mora.
Yeah, so he can be Jon Voight's character.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
Nice. Yeah. I would see that movie.
I could also see like Javier Bardem in that role. He's like he'd be like way too good of an actor, but I mean Jon Voight was a good actor at the time he took this too, so you need somebody to elevate the rest of the schlock. But yeah, I like that. I mean, I would watch that on an Anaconda remake over the I don't know Jumanji-ish version that Paul Rudd and Jack Black are supposedly gonna do.
Yeah, so I think that's slated for this year or early next year, because I think they finished filming it. I'm not sure, or they're currently filming it. But there is also a Chinese remake of Anaconda that came out last year.
Yeah, I've not seen that, but
I haven't seen it either.
I just learned about it when doing the little like the deep dive for this movie. So
I saw the trailer. It looks good.
All right, Chinese Anaconda. Let's go. Could be worse, right?
Could be worse.
We're gonna find out. Okay, so Scott, this one's for you. If you could ask one character from this film a question, who is the character and what is the question?
Okay. Huh. I would ask Jon Voight where the guns came from. Because when he jumps on board, it doesn't look like there's guns with him.
He's got all
of a sudden there's and that bag is full of dynamite apparently, but he's just got all these guns at his disposal, these big guns that you think you would notice on when he jumps aboard. Also, when he jumps aboard, it's funny because he jumps onto Owen Wilson, then they cut to a shot of them falling and Owen Wilson's on top. It's great. Like, how did that happen?
Oops, too late now. We're not going to reshoot this scene. So
there's definitely a better question somewhere. I'm just blanking too.
It's fine. What are all those guns for?
What are the guns? Yeah,
or his scar? Doesn't he have like
right? The snake story. What happened with?
Oh, that's it. Yeah. I'd be like, tell me about this. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. All right, Amber, we're going back to you. What is a song that embodies the energy of this movie? Or if it helps to think of it this way, like what's a song that you would want on the soundtrack of this movie?
Anaconda by Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, makes sense. So now, because we're talking about it, I just was like joking with my wife and I was like, so Sir Mix-a-Lot, right? Has Baby Got Back. The song is like My Anaconda Don't Want None Unless You Got Buns, huh? I was like, J-Lo's definitely got buns. I was like, were they inspired with the casting because the only knowledge of anacondas in pop culture before 1997 was the Sir Mix-a-Lot song? I don't know, but
if that were the case, they would have cast Jane Fonda.
Yeah. Okay, we got one more to go here on the wheel. Scott, you're going to close it out. Let's see what you get. Okay. Maybe it's a new one, maybe not. It's going to be a food question. Almost. Not quite. Okay, so if you could be one character in this movie, which character are you going to be and why?
I'll be Ice Cube because he
lives,
survives, and saves people. He's heroic. He seems like a nice person.
Mhm.
Like, I like his character. I would be him. I maybe would have said, I do like the Jonathan Hyde character, but you're right. He is too much of a dick at the beginning, and then he gets eaten. So, yeah, I would say Ice Cube. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You get to say your mama when he's like, you in what army? He's like, your mom.
Right.
That's fair.
I get to say all the same exact lines.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I think I could blow him up. I like when he says that too.
I do too. Yeah, I like that line. I like when he says, just push on the hinges. And she goes, oh, okay. Like she's been banging on this thing up here. He goes, just hit on the hinges. She goes, pops it open.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, he's still probably like, that smokestack's pretty tall, at least like 50, 60 feet. So I don't think he's really got eyes on the situation to be making strategic recommendations on how to get out of there. But like the gate is pretty flimsy, like itself. She's almost pushing through it with her hand.
Yeah.
What about you, Amber? Is there a character you'd want to be in this movie?
Probably also Ice Cube.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, my logic is not sound, but I would want to be John Voight because it feels like he's having the most fun. So I would want to be him because it's like he's really enjoying himself up until the moment that he dies.
Right.
I was thinking that, but it's like the accent where I think I would laugh. Because this one line, I don't think I could say it because I'll laugh too much. But when he says, he's like, it's been a long time since I had a woman. Like the way that he says that line, it kills me every time. And that scene, I end up saying it along with him. He's like, you need protection. Like the way
he turns into Tony Montana sometimes. And that line in particular, he kind of becomes Tony Montana.
It's so I would laugh too much, have too much fun with it.
You need protection?
Yeah, you need protection.
Long time since I've been with a woman.
Yeah. It's so breathy too, the way he talks.
Definitely would have the most fun with that, I think. Okay, well, we're out of the woods with the bonus wheel, but I want to hear from both of you for more or less. And that is pretty straightforward. Just give me the one thing you want more of and the one thing you want less of in this movie. Scott, I think we'll start with you since we started the wheel with Amber.
Okay. I would say more. I would maybe say more. I would like more Eric Stoltz in this movie. I'd like him to be an integral part of the action, to be involved in some way. I feel bad that he has to lay down, gets to get up and help once, then immediately right back to bed. I feel bad for him. I wish he could have some part to play. Less snake POV shots where the camera's like rocking back and forth. That happens a lot, and we get a lot of them. And yeah, by the end, we're like that. Maybe less monkey blood too.
It's monkey blood.
Yeah, yeah, that was good. Yeah. It's monkey blood.
All right, Amber, how about you?
Maybe more Anaconda, maybe more just because like it's suspense for the first part, but I don't know, the thing is I really like that about it though. I don't know, maybe just more Anaconda because I like it. I like the snake, so maybe more of that. I'd like to see more of that. Maybe more of it behaving like a snake, but still treating the humans as its prey. Because it's really just like, even though it's more so alert with it, like paying attention to stuff, snakes people are scared of them for a reason. When they're quiet and then they lunge, this one doesn't really do that. It makes its presence known like really quickly. I think it's scarier that way. So maybe I would have liked more of that.
Yeah. This one does like a dance in front of the boat for them whenever it's going to come at them. They can like see it.
It's like, I'm over here, guys. Hey.
Not much of an ambush predator.
No.
And then as much as I like his performance and how creepy he is, maybe just less grossness from John Voight's character just makes me so uncomfortable.
Sure.
So maybe less of that. Yeah.
That's fair. I understand that. He's disgusting in this movie. And I still feel like he's the most fun to watch in the movie, like being disgusting. And I hadn't really thought of this question for myself, but now that we're talking about it, I think the one thing I want more of in the movie is J-Lo. As weird as that sounds, like for her to be the final girl, I would like her to have more of a hand in the actual like finality of the situation, right? Ice Cube blows it up. Ice Cube axes it in the head. Stoltze survives kind of just by like sleeping the whole time. So there's like they're putting her in harm's way to like dangle her as this object of like the snake's attention and of John Voight's attention. But then in the moment, like when push comes to shove with her, like having the opportunity to fight back, like just let her pick up the axe at the end and smash it in the head. You know, I mean, I get like Ice Cube. I like Ice Cube in this movie. I'm not trying to like say that I don't, but I mean, she does rifle round the other one right in the head, but that's like so early. Like just swap it so that like it's Ice Cube that shoots the snake earlier and then it's J-Lo that gets the win with the axe to the skull later in the movie. Because I just feel like she's almost borderline damsel in distress territory a lot of times in this movie, and like it didn't need that, especially with her in the lead and one of the people that survives. Like if she's gonna play the other role, like the side character that Carrie Werner plays, then yeah, of course she can be kind of like that character is portrayed in the movie, because she's just gonna get eaten anyway and it's not important. But I think here with her and Voight, especially sort of like with the lecherous attention that he gives her, she doesn't even get to kill him. It's Ice Cube. It's Ice Cube that grabs the thing and stops him from running away. So it's like Ice Cube's got so much agency for a guy that's like third or fourth on like the totem pole in terms of pecking order. So I would have liked some of that to go Juneffer Lopez's way.
Well, and even when they give her the chance to, like they set it up, oh, she's got the gun. They do like three scenes where she's kind of incompetent with the gun, or like can't quite get the shot off. Like they keep taking it away from her until she's like at point blank range. But then we decided that snake might come back. We don't know. But she does kind of become, like you said, like the push me, pull me, where he's just kind of taking her along at the end. I know what you mean. Yeah, I wish she had more.
Yeah, because she's good.
Yeah,
she's really
is.
Good. Yeah, she's good at what she did.
Yeah, this motherfucker threw monkey blood on me, and he's trying to get this snake to eat me, using me as right. But she doesn't. So that's like, I just would have liked her to be the one to pull the net up so that Voight can't get away and look at him and I got you, you know, that kind of moment. This is what that movie is anyway. It's not like it doesn't fit in the context of this story.
Right.
And with her boyfriend, you know, laying there, like it would have been nice if she got to take him out, because it's like, you got the wasp in his mouth somehow. So.
Yeah, bastard.
Maybe,
yeah. She has to seem real, you know, she's not part of it. She's just responding, watching it. Yeah, and worried.
So, yeah, in hindsight, I mean, maybe the cast is a little like too big, but you need some snake fodder. So, yeah. But before we continue, I guess like since this is the last movie of the month, and then the other ones that we covered were The Wedding Planner and The Cell, and I don't even remember the other one at this point now. How do you feel about sort of J-Lo's career and where this movie lands in its importance?
I think this is part of what I would call the ramp up.
That's fair.
Starts in maybe like 95, Money Train, that kind of thing.
Money Train's the other one. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Someone listens to the show.
She just keeps and then the next year is like Jack. She has a supporting role in Jack.
That's right.
And then this, and then I think Out of Sight is kind of the big thing where people start taking her seriously, because she's great in that movie, and her and George Clooney are great together, and it's just a good movie. I think Soderbergh and her like work well together in that movie. The three of them almost, it's like George Clooney, Soderbergh, and Lopez all do a good job together. So I think of this as like early Lopez, that we're just starting to get to know her, but we're getting to know that she can play like realistic characters. And then she has whatever that thing is that none of us know what it is that actors have, where somehow you believe them when they're doing stuff. And you're like, oh, that looks like it would be easy. And then you try to do it and you sound so stupid. It's like whatever that thing is they have. She definitely has that spark, which you can see is why she continued to get work and became a huge megastar, because she definitely has whatever it is, the star quality.
Yeah, she's got the it factor.
Yeah.
It's very watchable.
Yeah, she's definitely a movie star. I would say, people talk about like movie stars are dying. I would consider her a movie star. And then you said, where would we place this? I'm sorry, how'd you with the question?
I don't even remember the exact phrasing, but in terms of like looking at her entire career, like how do you sort of look at this movie in terms of like importance in her career?
Oh, I see. Well, like I said, again, for me, with my lens, it was a big deal. This one and Selena, big deals, still in my life, still in my family, that we watch these movies. But yeah, like Scott said, that was a good phrase he used, the ramp up. Yeah, this is definitely like when she's getting on a roll. And then, but the thing is, yeah, Selena was so big though. Like, it was really big. I don't know where I would put this. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite films, like, period. So it's a big deal to me.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious to know what she would say about it, because, you know, actors seem to do one of two things with movies like this that happen earlier in their career. They either seem to kind of recoil from it and don't want to touch it and don't address it, or they really kind of embrace it. Like, I'm not ashamed of this. This made me I'd be curious to see. For some reason, my inkling is she probably doesn't want to talk about Anaconda. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope she loves it. But that's not the vibe I get. So I don't know. We'll see.
I wonder too how she views it too with having Ice Cube in it, because with the music career, she collaborates with a lot of rappers.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if the music side of it, maybe she looks back on it fondly because she got to work with not just a fellow artist, but a rapper specifically. So
that's true.
And she's in,
good point.
She works with a lot of hip hop artists.
I want to hear what you say about John Voight too.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, probably not favorable. But if the new Anaconda that is maybe done filming, if that movie is going to be the sort of empty homage vehicle that I imagine it to be, I will at least give them bonus points if J-Lo and Ice Cube are in it in some capacity. Like, even if they reference that story exists, I will be like, okay, you at least know that this movie is around. Like, the only reason that the new Anaconda exists is because of the old one. So the least you could do is show some respect to the dumb schlocky snake movie that got you here. So yeah, if you're gonna do the homage thing, just like do it all the way. Then don't give me a half measure where you pretend that the first one doesn't exist, because I just don't envision. Well, I may be wrong. I don't envision a Jack Black and Paul Rudd vehicle for this story to take it nearly as seriously as this Anaconda. And this Anaconda is like a schlocky, fun summer action movie. So if we're going to be less serious than this, then go all the way to being unserious. And shit, maybe John Voight lived. He gets barfed out and he's still alive. He's probably paralyzed and permanently damaged, probably lots of internal injuries, probably dies. But bring them all back at that point.
No bones left, and
no bones. It's just powder,
just a pile of goo.
Human bones.
I'm thinking now, because whether she would acknowledge this movie or not, because her and Owen Wilson had a movie together, like 2 years ago, "Marry Me," which I actually really liked that movie. I wonder if I didn't watch any of their interviews or anything. I wonder if they talked about it, that they did this movie.
They probably
I didn't even think about
during
that.
the press tour. Be like, so what is it like to work together after you guys work together on Anaconda? They're like, oh
yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's right. Anaconda. Forgot about that one. I did not see any interviews in regards to that. Like, the most recent one I saw was the Ice Cube one. It must have been from 2017.
Yeah. The 20-year one, you said?
Yeah. Scott, I'm going to give you the chance now to tell us anything that you wanted to say about this movie that we maybe hadn't covered at this point, because I feel like we covered a pretty broad spectrum here.
Yeah. Yeah, we covered almost all the kind of notes I took while watching it. When we're talking about Owen Wilson, I meant to slide in and say that he hadn't phased out his Texas quality quite yet. It was so early in Owen Wilson that you can really hear the Texas twang in his voice. And if you remember, he had a bit part in The Cable Guy too.
Oh yeah,
as one of her dates, and he really was twangy in that. So that's just kind of interesting to see. He hadn't tried to Hollywoodize himself quite yet, or just faded away. But it's kind of cool to see him like that. Yeah, the idea that this documentary is going to be her big break comes up a couple times, and that kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Like this is going to be just like a huge documentary.
Yeah. The documentary about the subject that you and the 4 other people on the boat actually care about, and that is maybe going to play at USC because it's your alma mater. Like, yes, no one's going to see this, even if it's great. You're probably not going to have a big break because of this.
And you don't quite know where to go to find the people you want to talk to. So it's a little tricky. And I thought the music was good.
The music is good. I love the score.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Randy Edelman was his name was. I wrote it down. Yeah. I thought the score was good. It did a very good job at ratcheting up tension when it needed to. It was better than I think it had to be for a movie like this.
For sure. But I think when you're like maybe trying to compete in the realm of like the Jaws type of movies, like you gotta have the suspenseful music and that like just those few notes right there actually do a lot of the heavy lifting for the kind of like tone of the film. And then like some of the camera work helps too, but really effective. It's one of the things that probably made me like it as much as I did for as long as I did, I want to say. Like it stayed in there, even though like it wasn't something I was always conscious of.
Yes. Yeah. It's great music. The last thing I want to say is when Voight is getting eaten, the inside of the snake's stomach effect is very cool. I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Nope. Anyway, what did you say?
Jordan Peele definitely watched Anaconda. I'll put money on that.
Yeah.
Amber, I was going to ask you now, is there anything that we didn't get a chance to talk about that you really wanted to make sure that we get in here?
No, like I said, I wanted to mention that line just because that's my favorite line from Ice Cube. I did want to say I've always liked the scene after Owen Wilson gets swallowed and you can see his body in the Anaconda, and look up that too because they can swallow, like most snakes can like swallow, and the smaller snakes, like when they eat stuff, sometimes you can see. And I wonder if that's true for the Anaconda with in real life, like with their size. But
it made me think of the Simpsons thing, Nick, where the school snake gets away and he's by and it's got all these little kids shapes inside of its stomach.
Simpsons did it. Yeah, sorry, Anaconda, you're not the first. I mean, you could definitely probably make out that it's like the shape of a person. I don't know if you'd be able to like see their facial features to the point where it's like, oh, that's a man in there. But
that's Owen Wilson's nose.
It's definitely him.
I know that nose. Yeah.
Right? Okay, well, now we've reached the inevitable portion of the show where we hear all the horrible things that people had to say about this movie as we go to Critics Corner. So let's pull up the board and see what we got. As I mentioned at the outset, this has a Metascore of 37, so very, very low overall. But we've got a low of 0. So we start at the bottom with the San Francisco Examiner, and this is G. Allen Johnson. Says, if only director Luis Llosa and his cast could see the joke and seize upon it. Instead, like its computer morph snake, the film doesn't have a clever bone in its body. Is he saying snakes don't have bones?
Yeah. I think so.
I think they have a spine. I'm pretty sure they have a skeleton and a skull. I don't know. Maybe I'm not up on my snake anatomy, but maybe the snake just doesn't have clever bones.
I guess, yeah, right. I guess he didn't listen to anything that John Voight or Jonathan Hyde said, because they were mostly jokes and mostly ironic jokes. So I'm pretty clever, I'd say. I don't know. That's a weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say they are a little bit buried in there. Like Hyde hits him with the golf club, I think, and knocks him out. And he says asshole in one.
That was great. I loved asshole in one. Yeah.
And so it's like, but yeah, unless you like know enough about golf to really like sort of connect the dots, like it's a character who has just been kind of a dick the whole time. So it's like you have to listen, and then it's not met with sort of like punchline timing either. So the way that joke is layered into the rest of the sequencing of the shot doesn't really like give it any room to breathe. But I did like that line. So yeah, I was like, that's a good zinger for a guy who's been hitting golf balls the whole movie. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the San Francisco Chronicle and the Austin Chronicle both floating below 25. So Amber, pick which one you want to hear.
Do San Fran, West Coast.
San Francisco. Mick LaSalle says, so desperate and silly that here and there, it's a lot of fun. But gave it a 25.
God.
Right? This movie's fun. I hate it.
Yeah. Here and there. I had a good time. Yeah.
Here and there, it's a lot of fun. Though.
Right. How about here and there, it's kind of fun. No, it's here and there. It's the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. Gave it, I guess that's like a 1 out of 4 scale right there. So, I mean, it's kind of sad, but so be it. We'll move up. We've got the Washington Post and the Chicago Reader both clocking in at 40. So Scott, I'll let you pick which one you want.
Washington Post.
Washington Post. This is Desson Thompson, a frequent offender here on the show. Says feels like quote unquote Alien, as directed by Jim Henson. And the suspense is restricted to mundane slasher movie tactics, including the frequent use of a mobile, call it Anaconda cam, that's supposed to represent the snake's point of view. So he was not a fan of Anaconda cam.
I like the Jim Henson thing, though. That's funny. I do like that.
Yeah.
That's good. Good on Desson for that.
I get it. Yeah, he got a zinger in there. Okay, well, now we've got two 50s on the board. And this is TV Guide Magazine and Variety. So, Amber, do the honors. Who do you want to hear?
TV Guide.
TV Guide Magazine, uncredited, says Voight's performance, one of the film's pure trashy delights, is all leer, sneer, and macho swagger, while the rest of the actors feel like the disposable snake fodder they are. I think that's kind of fair. I mean, Jon Voight is definitely sort of dialed up to another level than everybody else, but he helps make the movie what it is. And if you really dislike him, it sort of makes the finale of the movie a lot more enjoyable in that way. But I still think there might just be too many other characters for this. Like, if you're gonna have snake fodder, like, just have random boat hands that like don't have parts and like future A-list actors in them.
I was gonna say, as much maybe well-deserved shit the writing gets, I do feel like every character is kind of distinct in their they're especially like with the one-liners and zingers and stuff. It's like they're attributed to the right people because I feel like the characters be well fleshed out.
They're actually written like again, my example, like, yeah, they don't feel specific at all in the movie I just saw. Like, it's just, yeah, these are actually like what they feel like in the movie I saw last night, Jurassic World, was like it was placeholders that were put in there in a first draft. Like, think of a joke, put a joke here. And they just filmed the version that has the placeholder joke. Like, it's not, I feel like this time, Asshole in One, for example, that's a specific joke about his golfing.
Yeah.
And something his character would say because he's a smart ass. Like, yeah, I know what you're saying, Amber. It's like, it is, yeah, it feels like it's written specifically for the characters. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, sometimes they would have those like BuzzFeed quizzes of like lines from movies or TV shows, like which character said this. And I was always pretty good at those games because it's like, well, it has to be attributed to this character. That's something that character would say. And so I'd be like, oh, I guess maybe they had their moment or whatever. But I don't think you see that as much. It's just like a funny thing. One can say it.
Yeah, I want to bring back catchphrases. Yeah.
Even there was an episode of Friends where one of them makes a joke and someone goes, that seems like something that I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but like that's something Chandler would have said.
Yeah.
He's like, you're right, I would have. And it's the episode where he gets his third nipple removed. And so that his ability to be funny went when he got his third nipple removed. So he's like, it's the source of all my power. When I thought that was
funny.
Oh, the nubbin.
The nubbin, yeah.
Okay, let's climb a little higher as we're going to make a big jump from the 50s to the 75 range. And we got two of those on the board as well. So, Scott, I'll let you pick which one you want.
What are the options?
Excuse me. Yes. USA Today and the Christian Science Monitor.
Christian Science Monitor. Why not?
Yeah, David Starrett. He's been on this show before as well. Usually not a happy man with the movies we talk about, but like I said, gave it a 75. He says, coil up with a tub of popcorn, get a stranglehold on your soda. Okay. This is a creepy, action-packed boat ride down a jungle river with lots of huge snakes dropping by for man-sized snacks. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely into it.
When he said squeeze, I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the taglines and don't look down.
No.
I was like, what about this? I was like, if I was going to do a tagline, I'd have to pick one that has to do with the snake itself, what it does. So what if you had like, don't hold on too tightly? Wouldn't that be a good?
That's a good.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess the point of that is I don't think they worked very hard on the catchphrase, but
yeah,
I like how this guy's using the puns and all in his review. Yeah. Coil up.
Well, because the one on the poster is if you can't breathe, you can't scream.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Yeah, that's a good one. But the don't look down was complete waste of.
On IMDb is that one. Yeah,
that's a great one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we have reached the top of the mountain, and there's only one guy left here. And it's our buddy Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
Gave it an 88, which I don't know how that maths.
Oh, that's like a 3.5 out of 4,
yeah,
I think.
Right?
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize he liked it that much.
He also liked The Cell more than he liked Silence of the Lambs.
Cell was on his top 10 list for 2000. I remember that. Yeah. He loved The Cell. Yeah.
So it's always great when Raj has my back when we're doing these movies. I'm like, okay, so I'm not alone. And he clearly likes Juneffer Lopez movies too. But yes, gave it an 88 out of 100, saying a slick, scary, funny creature feature, beautifully photographed and splendidly acted in high adventure style.
It is photographed very well.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He liked it. He's got a thing for J-Lo and big snakes.
Yeah.
He really did give passes to a lot of questionable J-Lo projects. I think just because she was in it, he's like, I like her.
Yeah. Just liked her, yeah.
I mean, I've always been the kind of person that's felt like sort of star power goes a long way, especially in bad movies, because there's a lot of movies where the overall movie is like not great, but there's one performance in there by someone you like that is enough to sort of just elevate everything else into like the watchable and enjoyable range, where if that actor isn't doing all of the heavy lifting, then maybe everything else sinks. But I feel like this is a case where it's kind of spread pretty evenly. Like Voight is obviously sort of the head of the spear when it comes to the performances here. But I think between J-Lo and what we get out of Stoltz and Cube and Hyde and Wilson and Carrie, we get a good amount, I think, in terms of like balance, so that like as they begin to sort of get picked off one by one, we're not like losing the best actor in the movie at a certain point.
Right.
So we're kind of like going in reverse descending order of acting ability, I think, at one point. So it's just like, just pick them off, so that way it's like there's not a big chunk missing out of the movie.
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with. I think I was just a little too young. I didn't know the girl Carrie were, and I think she was on MTV or something. Like she was from something, and I just didn't know her. But I heard she was like a television person at the time. I read that. So.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I really know her from is Thinner, where she plays like the gypsy daughter. Yeah,
okay.
She's the daughter of the gypsy woman who does the curse. And so she's like very intense in that movie. So to see her like in this role is a lot softer and a lot lighter. But it looks like she was in 8-Legged Freaks too. So some schlocky stuff in the resume.
That's what I was trying to, because somebody posted a clip from Thinner, and I was like, where do I know that lady from? I just saw her in a movie, and it was 8-Legged Freaks that I had seen her in. And so yeah, she's the cop / mom in that movie. She plays Scarlett Johansson's mom in that movie.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, now only got one thing left, really, and that is the gateway drug movie. So, what is a good sort of launching pad for someone who has not seen Anaconda, maybe seen some other more popular movies in the genre, but you want to get them to take a chance on Anaconda? What movie are you recommending as the gateway drug?
The one I would say is Arachnophobia, for the reasons that it's mainly a comedy. I would say, like, it's a lot of comedy. It's kind of an experiment in those kind of safe scares. Like, I think children can handle arachnophobia. It's creepy, but it's like, well, depending on the child, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's like kind of the similar. I think the vibe is very similar to this. This one's probably a little more serious than arachnophobia, honestly. That one goes for laughs a little bit more, but it at least gets you in that same realm. And I guess I just think like spiders, and then you step up from there. As far as people's fears, you got spiders and snakes, because snakes are bigger. So I don't know. That kind of step up.
No, I like that. That's a good pick. I feel like it operates on a similar, like, family friendly scare territory where it's like, at least with Anaconda, like, you're on the boat, you're in the jungle. It feels like more of an adventure. Arachnophobia is not as much of an adventure, but definitely uses the just inherent fear of the creature to do a lot of the work for it. But that's a good pick. I like that. And I love Arachnophobia. As someone who likes horror movies, not really, I don't really get like bad dreams from horror movies. Arachnophobia, like, I woke up in the middle of the night like, oh my god, there's spiders all over me. Like, it's it just like that subconscious thing. I don't even really like hate spiders that much. Most of the time I pick them up and take them outside. So it's like just the effectiveness of it. And it wasn't the first time I watched it. It was like maybe like the second, third, fourth time I watched Arachnophobia that it really just like got in there where I was like, oh god, I can feel it on me.
Yeah, that movie can do that too. It makes you feel very,
my
like,
wife,
you got stuff crawling on you all the time.
Yeah, my wife hates spiders, and I really want her to watch it, because not because she hates spiders, but because I feel like you said it's like a safe scare kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how she would react to it. But we did do a thing where we were like holding snakes, and she held a tarantula. I was very proud of her, and
Nice. That's cool.
So it was cool. Yeah.
I've never held a tarantula, but I've held snakes before, and an alligator before.
Alligator? It must have been a baby alligator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Allie the alligator.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Well, what's your gateway drug movie? Are you going alligator movie?
No, I'm going with Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
There's
a good one.
When I was speaking earlier about, things that I like in these creature features is when an animal acts in a different ways than they normally would. That's the whole thing of Deep Blue Sea, is that these are genetically modified sharks. So they are not, you've both seen this?
Yeah.
I know Scott has seen it. But
for sure. I love Deep Blue Sea.
When they throw Stellan Skarsgård, the shark throws Stellan Skarsgård's, like, well, he's still alive, but he's dying. They throw him at what facility they're in to break the glass. Like,
right.
That's not a thing a shark would do. Sharks don't really act, even though people are so scared of them, they don't really act in a vengeful way. They're just trying to live. They're just trying to eat. But these sharks are angry. And so it reminds me of the snakes in this movie. These snakes, they have a purpose. They're angry at these people. So it's very similar in that way. And I think that, I think if you watch Deep Blue Sea and you like it, I think you'd feel similar about Anaconda.
Yeah.
And I know, like I said, the kids that babysit like those movies. So
that's one thing, like Nick was saying earlier, I think this ties in. Like, Deep Blue Sea is a good movie at giving a female protagonist a lot to do. Whereas Anaconda kind of doesn't, kind of silence her. Deep Blue Sea is weird because it keeps changing the protagonist, which I like.
Yeah.
It keeps shifting who the main character is. And then they just keep dying. So you're like, you're just left with a couple people at the end. But yeah, just to piggyback on what you're saying, Amber, I think Deep Blue Sea does a better job actually of giving the female character more to do, I suppose.
Yeah, because I feel like while she kind of is like obviously second in command, kind of, I feel like she sort of embodies the final girl stuff where it's like she has the big confrontations and like takes it head on and doesn't necessarily like let someone do that for her. But Amber, to your point, the part where the shark launches his he's on like a gurney basically, and he's got an oxygen thing so he can breathe and he can see it all happening. I'm like, look, I know these sharks are supposed to be smart, but I'm pretty sure they don't understand physics.
Yeah.
And especially, well, if anything, they'd probably understand underwater physics a little bit better. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be able to calculate that this guy's body's going to break the glass to the enclosure. But whatever, it's fun. And Deep Blue Sea is a really fun movie. I love it. It's kind of trashy, but good times.
I was going to say, go ahead.
My favorite shark movie is Deep Blue Sea.
Oh, okay.
I told someone that yesterday, and they were like, "When Jaws is right there," and I was like, "Yeah."
I was going to say, Ebert has a funny thing about Deep Blue Sea in his review. He likes it too, but he says even if they gave them bigger brains, they wouldn't know anything more unless they learned it. I always thought that was funny.
Yeah, these sharks have been studying is the thing that we don't see.
Right. They're smart.
Yeah, I think those are both good picks, and honestly, probably better picks than the one that I'm going to give in terms of tone, because I think Lake Placid's another movie that falls into like the similar kind of category where it's a little campy and a little schlocky, but designed to be a creature feature, right? I'm going to go with Orca, which I feel like is the best Jaws knockoff because it is the most true to Jaws without being Jaws. And the more we learn about orcas and the more like video and knowledge that comes out about them, they're like psychos, man. Like orcas are super smart apex predators and they are terrifying. So I would much rather probably deal with the shark that's kind of an animal but stupid than an orca that's bigger and faster and kills those sharks and also has it out for me for some reason. So I'm gonna go with Orca. I think it's from '76 too, so it's like a year after Jaws, but it does take its story very seriously in that, like, no, we want this to be like Jaws and not maybe like Jaws 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen orcas there. I think I've seen the movie Orcas and the animal itself. They're very terrifying.
Yeah.
Dolphins are like number one for me. So scary. And I hate them.
Oh, really?
Well, you've held an alligator. I've held a dolphin. And I thought it was trying to kill me a little bit, but
it probably was.
No, it was me. I messed up. We were at this place in Hawaii where they have like a mini cove where they raise the dolphins from like infancy. And so one of them we were dealing with was the mom, and the whole thing was to like you put your arms under it and you kind of just like pretend to hold it and you do the photo shoot. But I'm like, they say like hold it, so it's like my arms are under the dolphin and I'm like, this dolphin is still like 600 pounds. So as soon as it's like sort of posturing itself, I'm like going under and I'm like, oh god, it's trying to murder me. And my wife is like, yeah, well, you're not supposed to actually try to support its weight. And I'm like, oh, that's a good point. So probably not the dolphin's fault, but yeah, they're also very, very smart. So
I blame the dolphin.
Blame the dolphins. Cool. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Scott, I know you talked to me a little bit before we started recording, I think, about an upcoming project you're working on. So what you got going on?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be guesting on a show of our friend Andrew's show, The Revisionist Almanac. It's coming out. We're recording it in August, so I've still got a little bit to go, but it's the year 1991. We're going to be revising the Oscars. That's sort of the premise, is you take a year and you kind of do your own version of the nominations and pick who you think would win or should win. So I have that coming up. So I'm watching a lot of 91 movies to prepare for that, which I said is fun, but it is kind of a bit like homework at times. But yeah, I just recorded an episode of a show of our other friend, Tom Duncan, has a show called The Greatest Movie of All Time. I recorded about Nashville, which is one of my 2 or 3 favorite movies of all time. Which sounds stupid because I live here, but that's not why it's my favorite.
No. But I knew, I was like, it had to be Scott. There was not going to be anybody else.
Oh yeah. I saw you wrote that. Yeah, that was funny. But that's it. Besides that, I'm just on Twitter and doing movie stuff. At Cole, Scott, all spelled out. And yeah, that's that's pretty much. I used to write a little bit of review stuff. It's been a while since I've done it. I've just been busy. I need to get back into it though, but that's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, I'll make sure that that's, you know, a click away in the show notes, and
Okay,
I'm sure that most people that are going to listen to this that know you would know where to find you as well. But
Sure.
Amber, I don't know. You've been here once before, so
Yes.
where can people find you?
On Twitter, on Instagram, at Ambular, AMBULAR _93. Also on Blue Sky. I've actually been mainly posting my letterbox reviews on Blue Sky. That's kind of like all I use it for. I just post those. But yeah, I always joke that I'm a movie buff who doesn't watch movies, but I've been doing pretty good. I went to the movie. I saw 3 movies at the theater this weekend.
Wow, that's more than me. I'm slacking
Nice.
this year big time.
I've been watching, and then I have a list that I'm finally getting back to that some of our friends, Scott included, gave me recommendations because I have a very long watch list. Getting back to that list, I just finished our friend Kit's suggestions that she gave me, and then I'm doing our friend Christina's suggestions next. So
Nice.
I'll be posting those on Letterboxd, and yeah.
Nice. I'm trying.
Also, I'm at Ambular _93 on Letterboxd also.
Yeah, and Scott, I think I have your letterbox. If not, I'll reach out.
I can't even remember what it is. I think it might be like SS Cole something. I need to change it. I don't even know if you can, but yeah, it's linked on my Twitter. If you want to find me on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I'll snag the link there. But
thank you.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get Kit on the show. She at first was like, I don't know if she was going to do it. She would be. I know. She'd be great. And we were always like kind of like passing ships in the night, in that her schedule was always very different than mine when we were doing sort of like movie stuff. So like I would always see her, but it's like 11:30 at night Pacific time for me, and I'm like, I can't jump into a movie space right now. Like this is my winding down time. So like we were always sort of like in the same circle, but we very rarely like ever like interacted directly. So I want to make sure that I have time to get her on the show. But I was gonna say that this year for some reason, I don't know why, I just like haven't seen much. Ever since I was very excited to hear that like A-List was expanding to 4 reservations a week for AMC. I don't think I've seen more than 2 in a week. I think I saw maybe 3 in a week one time, but I've never maxed it out. And before I was min-maxing all the time. It was like 3 movies a week, and I'm going to take the $5 Tuesday. But yeah, it's been a weird year, and I feel like I'm way off schedule, and I have big sort of like podcast projects where I need to stay home and watch movies instead of going to the theater. So
yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully get back on track here in the summer, because there's definitely a strong back half that I want to check out. So, or at least more so than I've experienced thus far. But it's been a pleasure talking to you both. I'm glad you both share my love for Anaconda and and Juneffer Lopez. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not as much, but definitely a little bit.
No, I do. I love her movie.
Yeah, this was fun. I was happy to watch it again. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, so it was fun to watch it again. Yeah.
Wow, you jumped at the chance pretty quick when Anaconda went up. You're the first one. You're like, take it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was just like, I think probably because I was like, I liked that movie when I was younger. I'd like to try it again.
Yeah. Doing too much like actual homework for Revisionist Almanac. You're like, I need some schlock in here. Yeah,
some schlock. Yeah. The funny thing about that homework that I've been doing is, I told Andrew, I was like, okay, I keep getting back to our list, but then I keep getting detoured by like lurid thrillers.
Yeah.
From the 90s, like
loaded with them.
Yeah. So I keep getting, because there were so many movies. Like every weekend there was a movie about like somebody trying to kill somebody. So I have to watch all those too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, wish you luck on that. Sorry, what was that, Amber? I think
that's where I feel like Scott and I bond over our love of like 90s movies. Because even though I joke that I haven't seen any movies, 90s is like where I live, like late night especially. So that's like where me and Scott
we
talk.
It was a good decade.
Yeah. Movies in the 90s were just, even the bad ones are good. It's crazy.
Yeah, really high floor, I think, during the 90s. So it's like, most of the time the stuff that's gonna like come out at the studio level is still gonna be pretty good. And now I feel like, there's not like mid-budget stuff like that anymore where there's even room to fail. So the entire model is so different than it was that it makes like our experience as the audience a lot more difficult too, to like try to thread the needle, because we've sort of been shepherded to like neon, A24, you know, like sort of more boutique, like even Focus was kind of like doing it beforehand, but you know, like the more boutique studios to get the kind of stuff that we were getting decades ago, because the other studio models have moved on from that. So I mean, yeah, there's more movies coming out probably than ever too. So I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff that we just will not ever hear of because it doesn't even make it to theaters. Like, you know, I went to that film festival last night, and just like hearing when they finished filming it and how long it's been to try to get a debut, and the process they're going to have to try to go through to get distribution, like probably won't see theaters, probably be like end up in video on demand relegation. And like, I feel for me personally, that's a really hard pool to pull from, because it's like, am I going to spend like a ticket price to rent a movie, or am I just going to go to the movies and see something that like maybe is going to be bad, but at least I'll be at the movie theater? Because I just love going to the movie theater.
Yeah.
It enriches the experience of the movie overall, for the most part. When I'm not being annoyed by like everybody fucking around, you know, around me, then it's usually a good experience.
Yeah,
I agree. That's kind of why I got out this weekend, because I was just like, I already have bad anxiety, and then the news makes it worse. So I was like, I need to get out of the house. So I went, and I mean, it was really cool. Like Materialist, especially, even though I didn't love it, it being, you know, an original story and not being this huge movie, huge thriller, huge blockbuster, and having like a pretty full audience. My alarm went off. But really cool.
Good. Yeah. I that's the one that we probably got to see next before it leaves theaters, or else it's going to end up on the pile of stuff that is going to be on streaming somewhere, but I don't know. And yeah, blah, kick it down the line. So we'll see. I'm going to try to see that this week with 28 years later, and try to get back at least like kind of current, because I can't be on Twitter, especially not film Twitter, with new movies coming out. It's a mess. Like no matter what words I mute and block, it's coming through no matter what. So it's like, I feel like I have to see movies right when they come out, just to make sure that I see them before someone ruins it for me online. And it's not a fun place.
They're doing it on Thursdays now too. When the early, they're posting like Thursday night. I'm like, it's not even technically out yet. This is crazy.
It's become a competition to be like the first person to spoil it. And I'm like, why are you racing to do this? Like, I don't know what the actual amount of time there should be for like waiting, but probably like at least let the movie hit like home video or streaming or something before you start ruining like something that's actively in theaters.
Right.
That's just me, but now that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But there is a guy who I know who runs a small theater out here, and like they have a really, really good lineup all the time, but they're in like a crap spot in terms of like convenience for me. So it's really tough to be like, oh, I'm going to dedicate time to go there. But like they focus on making sure that like all that stuff that is sort of more boutique, harder to find, has screens, but they only have 2 screens in the theater. So their show times are like really, really staggered, because they have like 10 movies, but the showings are not like back to back to back for the same movie. So I think I want to eventually get him on the show, or on the other show even, and just like talk to him about the business model for running a theater. So in the future. Cool. Well, thank you both very, very much for your time. I do appreciate it, and I wish you a good rest of your evening.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. It was fun. Good to talk to you again, Amber.
Yeah. I'll probably talk to you again later.
Yeah, I'll maybe talk to you later.
Much appreciation to Scott and Amber for coming on the Jungle Cruise with me. Wrangling a large snake is not a one-person job. Anaconda has always been a movie that has been near and dear to my heart for one stupid reason or another, but I'm really glad I'm not the only one. And Scott and Amber were both very gracious and excited to join in for this. They didn't know that it was going to be the 100th movie. They didn't know it was going to be the movie that closes out Juneffer Lopez, but they showed up ready to go, ready to hunt that big-ass snake. If you had fun with us, definitely check out the show notes, because the links to all their stuff in the socials is going to be up and ready for you. And of course, thank you to everyone who took the time to listen to the episode. I know there's a seemingly infinite number of options when it comes to podcasts, and I appreciate you letting me into your ear holes and hopefully into your hearts. In all seriousness, though, time is valuable, and I am very grateful that you've entrusted me with yours. If you enjoy the show, please consider leaving a review or at least a rating and telling a friend about it. If you don't enjoy it, then maybe let's keep that between us. As I mentioned in the open, the new members-only section is in fact live at badmovieswelove.captivate.fm/support, where you're going to get access to a bunch of goodies for only $5 a month. And I would absolutely love to hear from you, so if you have a bad movie you love and would like to be a guest on the show, you can contact me at badmovieswelove@theshice.com or badmovieswelove spelled LUV on Twitter and Instagram. And until next time, take care, be well, stay safe, and have fun however you get your movies. I know you're out there somewhere, Rids. I love you.